Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages. Welcome to Talking Circles with Chris Carter. That is my name. My name is Chris Carter. His name is Riley Neal, driver of the 07 Winston-Salem Dash Modified. What is up, my brother?
What's going on? How are you?
I'm good. Did you have a good weekend?
We had a really good weekend. I'm actually very happy with the outcome of this weekend.
You should be. And I get a message. I'm standing around, and somebody, I couldn't even tell you who tells me, Chris, Riley ain't got power steering. He's out there, and he ain't got power steering. I said, well, I can't tell. I'm proud of you, bud. Good run. Messer, what's up with you over there, bud?
What's going on, man?
Me and Messer together lost 32 pounds after 3 days of being at Bowman Gray Stadium, dealing with all this NASCAR, Cookout Clash, yada, yada, yada. So I figured it's only fitting that we do a roundup, a review show, whatever the crap you people want to call this. I met so many. I just showed you the numbers.
Yeah.
I'm blown away by the people that I've met. Okay. We're going to get into all that. We got to hurry. Got a good show tonight. Little Cale Weavil. Our Cam's Corner brought to you by Pulliam's Hotdogs and Barbecue. 11-year-old Cale Weavil, sponsored by Choice Tire and Automotive Studios. Sponsored by Choice Tire and Automotive. We are in the Choice Tire and Automotive Studios in Kernersville, North Carolina, and Talking Circles with Chris Carter is presented to you by J&T Services. So, as I always say, so here we go. I hope I don't start crying, dang it. All right, so y'all know Emma. Remember Emma? How do you not remember our baby? All right, so I was digging this out. I have done like a state tour today of North Carolina, going to get parts for people, blah, 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 for the Daniel at H&H and them and Jason Rao at Colfax. So anyway, I was scrolling through Facebook, and I see something that caught my eye. And I see this, that Emma's mom, Alina, has, before, right around COVID and all that, that's what she done cakes and cupcakes and cakes and all that. COVID came, then Emma gets sick. Emma was 8 actually when the diagnosis came and all that. So then, as y'all know the rest of that story, she's 9, then she turns 10. In July, she passes. So I'm good. So I read this, and this is it warms my heart. Alina Edwards is starting her business back up, Enticing Icing. Okay, so here's where y'all come in. I put them up. They're going to be sponsoring a segment tonight. They're now a sponsor of this show. They had no, when I say they, I'm talking about her husband, Aaron, and her, Alina, Emma's mom. They had no idea. This ain't costing a dime. This is something that it's my show. I said they're going to be a part of it. You know, Emma said, end of story. That they are a part of it. So, if y'all will, now the way they spell it, if you go on my page, you'll see it. Enticing Icing. So y'all listen to me now, okay? Enticing. ENTICING. ICINGZ. Okay? They have 3.5K followers. I'm challenging everybody. Y'all do this for me. I always say it. Y'all go follow and like their page. I want, at the end of this show, 9 o'clock tonight, I want them to have 4.0K followers. Need to get them to I need 500 followers. There is no doubt in my mind the people that watches this show, Riley Neal, that can do it. So you start right there. You get on your phone and you do it. Messer's already done it. And I want everybody to do that. Enticing Icing. So here's the thing. They're not going to start. They'll be open in March, early March, whatever. You follow this page, you'll keep up with that. So here's the good part. Dadgummit, Christopher. Here's the good part. Y'all stand by. Bear with me. All right. So they will be donating a portion of proceeds to Children's Cancer Foundations. So this will be given back to the kids with cancer. And that's what Emma taught. You know, Emma was all about loving people, loving on others, and that was how that child operated. So it's pretty interesting. If you'll read Elena's thing, we hope we will have your support. We're so excited to make a difference. So anyway, so y'all were just so amazing. The support y'all showed Emma when she was here with us, and I want y'all know this. I've always said it. I will continue. I will never, ever, never, ever, never forget that child. I won't. That's that. So anyway, I said I was gonna make it through it. I can't help it. All right, so let's talk about another child real quick before we go into our sponsors. Okay, Noelle. I talked to her dad today, and I'm going there tomorrow. And this child's got tubes and everything all going through her. And I am such a freaking crybaby. I apologize. I can't help it. I can't help it. Anyway, so tomorrow I'm going to talk to Noelle's dad today, and I'm going to see them tomorrow. So that they need their prayers too. Noelle does. Noelle Strong on Facebook. You haven't followed it. You got something to say real quick? Say something.
I mean, you're human.
Here.
There's nothing you can do about it. I got it pulled up on my phone.
Please read it.
I'm right here.
Please read it for me.
I got you. You're human. Stuff happens. I got to find the right post. All right, so we're going to go through our sponsor list.
Thank you.
H&H Auto Repair. How is this said? Valasta?
Valasta. Yeah.
RaceForKids.com, Pulliam's Hotdogs and Barbecue, Precision Built Spindles, Renee Hackett Realtor, Culture Organics Incorporated, Affordable Septic and Tyson Isons, Dutton Safety Systems, The Garage Shop, Choice Tire and Automotive, Frank Steaks in Long Island, New York, J&T Services, DL Outfitters, Gary Brown, Dream 68, Midway Dry Cleaners, Caudle Speed Shop, LLC, JTA Soft Wash and Roof Cleaning, Cogar Plumbing, 5 Points Tire and Auto, Harkey Litigation, Everyday Mixed Concrete, Heroes Patriot Water, Hall's Heating and Air, Robin Sandblasting, Mule Skinner's Trucking, Messer Media, Garage Doors of the Triad, MJ Print and Graphics, Midway Music Hall and Event Center, Thunder Road Grill, Midway Mobile Storage, Make TV Great with Nate, Lou's Custom Showers and Glass, Tea Time Sports Bar, Burke Street Pub, Captain's Retreat at Bear Creek, Speed 77, Squeaky Clean Express and Ceramic Coatings, Colfax Towing and Auto Repair, Velocity USA, and KevinSaysYes.com. That's a lot.
Yeah, I'm blessed. All right.
Oh, here, I got something else for you while we're on the subject. Mom just texted me. This is starting right now. $5 of every sale on our new hoodies and T-shirts will go to the Childhood Cancer Foundation and Noel.
There you go. That's how this works.
ShopRileyNeal.com.
ShopRileyNeal.com. Y'all check it out.
Or go see us on Facebook and get you an order in.
Yes, please. I do want to say this. Elena and Aaron are watching tonight, and that means a lot to me. Probably why I got a little emotional. But anyway, I love them with all my heart. All right, so we've got a lot to talk about, y'all, other than Crybaby Chris. What a weekend. What a weekend at Bowman Gray Stadium. And it's, man, it was nothing short of amazing. I don't care what anybody says. Even the jacklegs and the people who don't deserve internet access, the hillbillies or what. Yeah, I mean, it's even those people, man. You're a racer. You're a racer, you know. And everybody, oh, them cup cars, they ain't gonna be no good. They're not gonna be racing. Man, listen here. They put on a show.
They make any Bowman Gray Stadium weekly division look sad the way that they raced this weekend. And
Well-
I was amazed.
So there's a few things that goes through the top of my head watching all this, and y'all's race was not bad. Let me say that.
No.
Okay, but it's when y'all went out to practice, the first practice, I was right there with your papa Tommy, me and Tommy Neal side by side, and I went. Y'all went out and there was dust. Just it looked like you was going down a dirt road in Alabama.
Yep.
I mean, it was dust everywhere. I was like, "Oh my Lord!"
Yeah.
This ain't good. Then I started looking at times, and I'm like, uh-oh. So then I got You Was Fast. Daggone Mike Spaney, like he had a 798
yeah.
cubic inch.
Mike had a rocket, man.
He was fast, wasn't he, Messer?
Him, I think Danny Bone got the pole.
Yeah, the 13.9. So let's go back. We'll go back real quick. I got to watch my time here. Where am I at? Oh, yeah. Messer's got it right there. I got to get used to that. Okay, so remember we had everybody on the show guessing times. Burt said a 13.84. Burt Meyer said that. He was very close. And then Randy Budner and Lee Jeffries said 14 and above. They were right. They hit the nail on the head. So then a lot of y'all, we talked about the cup cars, said 15 and up. Wrong.
14-0.
Yes.
13-9.
I was amazed at how close how close the cup cars and our modifieds were. With all that being said, so me and the Messer, we had lunch with Austin Shuford today at Pulliam's Hotdogs and Barbecue. So here's the deal. I said, Austin, will you give me a list of people to thank? And Austin has so much going on. This guy's ready to just drink 32 beers and call it a day, ain't he, Messer?
He's probably drunk right now.
And no, he has no choice because Simone is probably making him watch this. Simone, we love you at Talking Circles with Chris Carter. All right, so I'm going to attempt. Messer's going to help me. I'm going to start first and foremost to the people to thank, okay? Because we got a media pass. He got a media pass. I got a media pass. So when I read this to y'all, please know this is something that I'm very, very, very proud of, okay? I just let Riley see it. So y'all listen to this, okay? Thursday at around lunchtime, I had 5.7K followers on this Talking Circles with Chris Carter page, okay? As of right now, it's 6.2. Oh, well, look.
Already gained 3 more.
All right, so 2 more followers, it'd be at 6.3. All right, so then I was all intrigued by that. I thought it's pretty cool. So then I went to the insights, okay? Views in the last 28 days on Talking Circles with Chris Carter, 1,236,050. That so why? Listen, please know that I am so thankful and grateful that I can share this with y'all. So that's why I want to make sure that Talking Circles with Chris Carter thanks everybody. So number one, Austin Shuford seen to it. Did I want to announce? Did I want to be a part of that? Yeah, I'd have blown it out of the park. Y'all know that if you know me. I wanted to have a microphone in my hand. It didn't work out. I'm fine with it. I got a media pass and made connections. I met so many awesome people, students at Winston-Salem State University, the media department. I mean, I don't even have time to talk about the people I met. But I'm so grateful and thankful that I got that media pass and made connections. I got some really good interviews with some pretty good drivers, too. I got to see Chase, man. Me and Chase go back, and we actually got to spend a few minutes and talk and catch up. So that was awesome too. So on the very top, first and foremost, thank you all to Austin Shuford for allowing he's the reason I got the media pass. So thank you, Austin. All right, Ben Kennedy. Thank you to Ben Kennedy. Then it's Joey Denowitz, Justin Swilling, Matt
Humphreys.
Matt Humphrey. I knew I was going to do this. My brain. Matt Humphreys, who had got us the contact and had Priest, and now we have him as a contact to where you will start seeing cup drivers on this show. We have that connection now. All the people in the Winston-Salem State University, that band that was there. Who am I forgetting? I know it's
Trey Gomez.
Trey Gomez at the Media Center, Bob Pockgrass, Regan Smith, Jamie Little. These are people that I've just made connections with.
And so the people that I worked with the NASCAR fan experience team and John Harrelson photography over there.
Yeah.
That was a great team to work with. And
is there anybody else you need to mention?
No, I went Blake, but
that's you know how you go when you're trying to read your sponsors and you got to look at your car. So
that's just the main
Not
guys.
me.
The track experience team, NASCAR, and John Harrelson for helping me out this weekend and
all right,
giving me
y'all,
an
we
opportunity to
can't.
help 'em.
Let's let's talk about this real quick before we go to commercial break and have Cale Weavil on. I was in Victory Lane. I was actually ended up somehow, me and Messer always found each other. Right there in Victory Lane, there's Messer right beside me. Corey Latham, it was me, Corey Latham actually, and Messer. And we're watching all that, and I said, I'm going to turn around and get a picture of all the fans leaving. There was like 18 people up there. Okay?
And they dipped, man.
Pew, they were gone. The Winston-Salem Police Department. I talked to a lot of them. At the end of the night, me and Messer was waiting on the media bus to come and pick us up and take us back to where we parked at. And those people was like, man, we expected a few things, and they got nothing. No issues whatsoever. We're way worse than they have more issues with our regular racing series.
It just shows you there's a different class of people there.
Well, and you know,
Yeah.
let's say this though before we go to Cale, before we go to commercial break. Y'all can go to this page and scroll down just a little bit, and where I recorded Chase. Go to look at the people I talked to, and even I talked from Garrett Smithley all the way up to Joey Logano. Every driver that competed there, I spoke with. And some of them introduced myself as an announcer at Bowman Gray Stadium, and that kind of helped them engage a little bit. Some of them was asking questions. They all said the same thing. You people, you the fans, y'all are the reason that they love this place so much. So
They're not wrong.
I've said it, you know, y'all give yourself, if you're watching this show, tuning in, and you was there, even if you wasn't there, you're still a true hero in my book, and a lot of this was drivers' books. Okay. So,
and one more quick thing, because we're still waiting for Cale.
okay, good.
They came out with the ratings and everything from the weekend. So the Cookout Clash of Bowman Gray earned an average of 3.1 million viewers tuned in on Fox with a 1.55 Nielsen rating.
What does that mean? 1.55.
I don't know what that means, but apparently it's good.
Yeah, but I hear a 1 and I'm thinking,
At peak, we had 3.4 million followers tuned in. And compared to last year's Clash, I mean, obviously they had weather issues, but compared to last year's Clash, they averaged 1.5 million. So we pretty much doubled.
And the racing was good. Let's see what people are saying, Riley.
I don't know. I turned my phone upside down.
Did you?
I did.
All right. So, and for all those people that I met, I watched a lot of the Cup race with. I met Jay Punch. You know what I'm talking about?
Who?
The girl that was like, we're here at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Jesse Punch.
I met her. So she was standing right down there. Very attractive lady. We all know that. That's just a fact.
Amen.
So I was looking down, and I didn't know it was her. I'm just like, look at this chick down here. She's pretty cool. And she's standing on her tippy toes, and I'd see her getting footage. So you know me, I'll talk to a tree. I went down there and I said, hey, your little tippy toes are going to get tired. Because she said, oh, my gosh. I said, you want to go find you a stool? No, I think I'm going to be all right. So then I walked away. I couldn't stand it. About the next caution, I went over there, and I said, well, who do you work for? I work for NASCAR. I went, wait a minute. I know who you are. She said, do you? And I was like, yeah. We talked for 20 minutes, and that was just so cool. That, once again, the people that I met, it was amazing. God, what was her name? It's like chick Jackie.
Mike Brown.
What's he doing? What's he saying? Never mind. I don't want to know.
He said 24 mod teams had 2 Porta Johns and no concessions. I'm not a fan. I mean, it's a good topic.
He's right.
He is right.
Dustin Marshall, Ty Gibbs. Yeah, Ty Gibbs caught some air, didn't he? All right. Wait, Jeff Denny's watching. Jeff Denny, hey buddy, appreciate you tuning in. He does the generators for John Boy. He's on his car. Good mind, great guy. So like I said, see, I could just sit here and talk about people I met for the rest of the night. All right. We love you. Thank you for being here. We're going to have 11-year-old Cale Weavil. Y'all do not go nowhere, please. We will be right back. Hey, y'all notice we're playing copyright-free music. I got tired of my money, and I've got permission to play these people. I can show you on this phone where Brad Arnold, 3 Doors Down, said use your pictures, your videos, and everything. So I asked Messer to get copyright-free music, and now we're at thrashing metal concert. I love y'all. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. Jimmy Brown of J&T Services buys junk, unwanted vehicles of all types. He removes scrap metal, specializes in trash removal and eviction cleanups. Whether it's a bed or a table or an even old washer and dryer, Jimmy Brown, you don't play around. Serving the Triad area since 2007, J&T Services is firefighter owned, and you can reach them at 336-341-1171, or you can go to J&T Services on Facebook. Choice Tire and Automotive is a full-service auto repair shop and your #1 source for tires and wheels in Kernersville, North Carolina. They offer a variety of automotive services to keep your vehicle rolling on the road and off. Choice Tire and Automotive offers check engine light repair and diagnostics, oil changes, brake repairs, alignments, balancing, rotations, and general automotive repairs. They bring the best quality service possible in everything they do, and their team is committed to providing the best workmanship and customer experience possible. Choice Tire and Automotive's hours are Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. till 5 p.m. Give Choice Tire and Automotive a call at 336-992-9002 and let them take care of your tire and automotive service needs. What in the world?
I feel like we're at Woodstock.
No, they played like
They played the good stuff.
I've become comfortably numb.
This is our first time playing this. All I know, there's no explicit stuff, so we're good.
Yeah, that is good. That's good. I miss my three doors.
We have children listening.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so welcome back, Talking Circles with Chris Carter. That is my name, and this is Riley Neal, driver of the 07 Winston-Salem Dash, garage doors of the Triad, modified at Bowman Gray Stadium. We are coming to you live from the Choice Tire and Automotive Studios, and we are presented to you by J&T Services, our buddy Jimmy Brown. All right, so this is our Cam's Corner segment brought to you by Pulliam's Hotdogs and Barbecue. And as you know, we do this every week, unless we're doing a live show, and we feature kids like that right there. Cale, what's up, bud? Talk to me, Cale. Can you hear me?
The mic is muted on his end.
Joe, y'all unmute Cale's mic.
There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. What are you doing, man?
Good.
How's things been going for you?
Good.
So, I want y'all to, everybody looking at home, I want y'all to look at this kid's hat, okay? 11 years old. He's been doing this a while. And as you see, who sponsors him? Our buddy Eric Engelbert and the bunch at Choice Tire and Automotive. And now we are at the Choice Tire and Automotive Studios, and Cale is supporting and his sponsor. Take notes. Take notes, Riley. Oh, yeah, Velosta. Okay. Cale, all right, so let's talk real quick, buddy. I want to talk to you about, I seen that all of your Bandolero stuff is gone bye-bye. Tell me about it. Is it all gone? Oh, you still
All my quarter midgets are gone.
That's what I meant, quarter midget. God, I screwed that up.
Quarter midget going to bandos.
Yeah, all right. All your quarter midget stuff's gone. And now tell everybody what you're going to be racing this year, buddy.
Bandos.
Bandos. For those of y'all that are in the back does not understand, he didn't say banjo. He's not playing music. He said bando. That means a bandolero. So with that being said, a bandolero division, are you excited?
Mm-hmm.
So I remember last year, it seems like, Cale, that you got to drive a bandolero and you was pretty daggone quick at Caraway. And it seems like, the daggone brain injury I had, I'm having issues thinking of what happened. Something happened, didn't it, to the bando itself and caused you to have an issue? Tell us about that.
Yeah, coming off of 2, the spindle broke and went straight to the wall.
Yep. Broke spindle. You know what that tells me? That was not a Jeff Day precision built spindle on that car.
That's right.
We have to get we're gonna have to get with our buddy Jeff Day and Precision Built Spindles and make sure you got those spindles on that Bandolero for this year. You gonna have the same number?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Yep. When's your first race?
I don't know, but I know my first race is at Wake County.
The Bull Ring.
Yeah.
Have you ever raced there, Riley?
I have one time finished third.
Any advice you want to give this young man?
Be up on the wheel. It's a physically demanding track, a mentally demanding track. If you want a racetrack, go to Wake County.
So that's good for Cale to get up on the wheel, mentally be ready, and that's a good track for him to learn at 11. Now, I keep saying 11. You're fixing to be 12 like in next week when it snows again, right? When's your birthday? February the 11th or the 12th?
11th.
11th. All right. So on February 11th, you're going to be 12. That means you get 12 swats on your butt.
13.
Well, one to grow on. 13 swats on your booty. No swats on the booty. All right. Well, we might let you make it. Okay. So you're going to be racing. Do you know the date? Does your dad? I know he's right there. Does he know the date of your first race at Wake County?
I want to say it's in
Yeah.
March.
What's the date?
Dad, what's the date for Wake County?
February 22nd.
February 22nd.
That's soon.
That is soon. It's in like
Oh man, I'm gonna be my first announcing gig of this year. I'm gonna be at Sonoya Karting Complex with Bubba Pollard's family and them announcing a big go-kart race. So I won't be able to get to see you. I hate that, but I'm very excited about going. And oh yeah, Bubba Pollard won it this weekend. For those of y'all that didn't know, it's been in the cave. My driver won it 2 races, 2 wins. So that's scary for the competition right there.
where was he racing?
Sonoya, that's their track. Cordele.
Cordell.
Yeah, Cordele. Yeah, that's
Is it
UAR.
Cordell or Cordell?
If you ask Chris Carter, it's Cordell. But if you listen to Bubba Pollard say it and Ricky Brooks, who's the manager, it's Cordele. I just say Cordele. It sounds like some goober neck. Cordele.
Gotcha.
Like dill pickle.
Gotcha.
Cordele.
Cordell.
Like Bubba Pollard, that sounds stupid. It's Cordell.
I mean, that's the way it reads, but
Cordell.
right.
Like Adele.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Dele. If it was Deel,
Right.
be Cordial, but it's Cordell.
Cale, did you watch the Clash at Bowman Gray the other night?
Yeah, I was there.
Oh my! And you didn't come find me, boy. Did you enjoy it?
Yes.
Did you think the racing was good?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see them drivers? Did you see those cup cars get 3 wide? Did you see? Did you see Ty Gibbs look like he was on a roller coaster and try to jump over? Who was it he got into it with?
I think it was Zane Smith.
No, Justin Haley.
Was it?
Justin
Okay.
Haley. Justin Haley pissed off some people.
Big time.
One of my interviews, they clearly said it. Who was it? Oh, Ross Chastain. Yeah, imagine that. Yeah, I like Justin Haley myself. I know he's a shoe and he's a good talent. Who is your favorite Cup driver, Cale Weavil?
Tyler Reddick.
Y'all are the same size. No wonder. So, a lot of y'all see these drivers just like the rest of us. But, man, when Tyler Reddick was talking to Joey Logano one time, I don't know why to get a picture, but, man, it was like, it's like Tyler Reddick's 4'9" and Joey Logano's 6'3", 6'4".
That's crazy. Just to think about how short some of them Cup guys are. Like Larson, he's pretty short too.
Ty Gibbs, 4'3".
It seems like it. I wanted Reddick to win.
Reddick's a good guy, good driver. He's very talented. He is.
I like that scheme he had.
Yeah.
That's
The unbannable.
unbannable.
Unbannable. Yeah.
That's awesome.
85. Was it 85 or 84? It's 85, I think.
I think 85. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they got, I think it's like it's an anniversary of it this year, so they got a whole
Yeah.
branding
It's
thing.
40
around
years. It's
it.
40 years.
40
yeah.
years. Yeah. So
Well, the shoe's finally getting put back in something. I don't know. I just wear them.
So Tyler Reddick is your favorite driver, Cale. Who's your second favorite driver?
Kyle Larson.
Let me ask you this. Who is your favorite Bowman Gray driver?
It's hard to pick.
What do you mean it's hard to pick? And I got one sitting right next to me. Boy, you're supposed to say Riley Neal.
He's gonna say Chase Robertson.
Stand up. Let me see your shirt. Let me see your shirt. Stand up just a little bit. What in the...
oh gosh.
That's your favorite driver, Chase Robertson Racing? Listen to your mama back there. Well,
I got a couple mod drivers too.
all right, who are they? Tell us.
Brandon Ward,
Okay.
I like Brandon.
John Boy, and Danny Bone.
That's some
I
good
like
ones.
him.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
no
I'm not mad
everybody.
I'm not mad at that.
Everybody but my co-host. I mean, geez, what in the world?
It is what it is. At least he had a good 3 that I like. So
Yeah, he did. There's nothing wrong with that. So, Cale, are you excited about this year, buddy? You're going to be in a bando. I know I've watched you in these quarter midgets, kid. You've got God-given talent. I've always said about racing, and since I started this show, I have a thing. It's you have God-given talent, taught talent, or no talent. You have that God-given talent, kid, and you're going places. There's no doubt in my mind. I know it, and I hope I get to watch you through the years get better as you go along on this journey. I know there's people that you want to thank, and if you would, please take this time to thank everybody involved, family, friends, sponsors, whoever, buddy.
I'd like to thank Choice Tire, Jerry Hunt, Super Centers, Hayes Jewelers, Downforce Graphics, Venom Power Sports, and HMS Motorsports, and family.
Yeah, you've got to remember the family. Don't forget. What about Miss Donna?
She's a big supporter.
Yeah, she is. Every time I go to Rancho, that's all I hear about Cale. That's good. She loves you so much. All right, buddy. Well, look, appreciate you being on, and I want you to always know if you ever want to be on, you're always welcome on Talking Circles with Chris Carter, okay?
Okay.
All right, buddy. I hope to see you soon. Thank you for being on.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome, man. See you soon.
See ya.
Cale Weavil gets our Cam's Corner, brought to you by Pulliam's Hotdogs and Barbecue here on Talking Circles with Chris Carter, presented by J&T Services. We are live at the Choice Tire Automotive Studios in Kernersville, North Carolina. We're going to take another commercial break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk to our buddy, our 12-time track champion at Bowman Gray Stadium, Tim Brown. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. Let's replace some more of that devil music.
I'm trying. Hang on. Here we go.
They still hear us.
Yeah, they can hear us.
I'm just waiting until I see.
We're good now. Since 2006, 5 Points Tire and Auto works hard to earn your trust and loyalty. They know how important it is to find a Winston-Salem car service you can rely on, so your satisfaction is their top priority each and every day. Their professional automotive service offers you years of combined expertise from their well-trained technicians. They treat their auto repair professionals well because they value their skill and can-do attitude. They know their team sets them apart, saving you, the customer, time and money, not to mention worry. When it comes to auto repair in Winston-Salem, 5 Points Tire and Auto is totally confident they are the best option in town. They're located at 3075 Kernersville Road in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and their hours are Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. If you need your hot dog experience to go to a whole new level, then you need to check out Pulliam's Hot Dogs and Barbecue, because when it comes to hot dogs, it doesn't get more iconic than Pulliam's. Pulliam's Hot Dogs and Barbecue has been in business since 1910, which makes them part of the fabric of the Triad area, and their recipe hasn't changed in 114 years. Same barbecue, same slaw, same hot dogs. Pulliam's is located at 4400 Old Walkertown Road in Winston-Salem, and their hours are Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Come chill at the grill and enjoy yourself with family and friends at Pulliam's Hot Dogs and Barbecue. Welcome back, Talking Circles with Chris Carter. Riley Neal's my co-host. We are presented by J&T Services. We're coming to you live from the Choice Tire Automotive Studios. Y'all keep doing it. Enticing icing. It's up there on my page that I post about people being on tonight. We're at 3.6 now. Y'all do what y'all do, okay? All right. Go ahead. Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, Chris.
Tim, how are you, man?
I'm good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm good. Did you get some rest, Tim? I mean, you've been going at it for over a month now, day in and day out. Media this, media that. Hot dogs here, Dario's there, everywhere. There's a hot dog everywhere you go. You had a lot going on. Did you finally get a little bit of rest?
No. Be honest with you, like I had to be at work early Monday morning from the Sunday night race to get those cars tore down, to get them turned around, to go to the next race for them, and work late at RWR tonight trying to get the hauler stuff rounded up and pit boxes and Daytona 500 cars. Just it ain't time to rest right now.
Tell everybody what time you get up in the morning, Tim Brown.
It's anywhere from 3:30 to 4:15, whenever I can drag myself out.
Gosh, dog. All right, so let's just, and I'm not going to keep you long because I know you do need to get some rest. You know, it was a big weekend for all of us. We got Riley Neal sitting here with us, and y'all was, I've heard it. Let's just start from the beginning. I said this earlier in the show, Tim, when y'all went out for, I told Riley this. When I watched those modifieds go out on the track, it looked like on a dirt road in Alabama. I was like, oh, Lord. Give us your opinion on the track when y'all first went out for that first practice in your modified.
It was slippery, but it wasn't near as slippery as it normally is, like in March when we practice. So everybody at the stadium, the staff and NASCAR, whatever they did to clean the track, and I heard they drug tires or done some kind of tire machine, it helped because the track had way more grip and speed than I thought it would have for the entire weekend with the modified and with the cup car, honestly.
Right. You, I've heard power steering issues with your modified.
Yeah. I was on the outside of the Labonte there on the straightaway, and he come over and hit the left front and shot it in a fence there and busted the rack. And that ended our night or our day.
The cup car experience. Is there actually a way that you could explain to our listeners and everybody watching that? Is there? How do you explain your experience of getting to race that cup car? Now, people do understand and realize that you'd never even sat in a cup car. You had simulator time, but you'd never even sat in a cup car. And here you go out there, trial by fire, I guess is a great term for this. Can you give us a rundown, Tim, from first practice to the end of the night in the cup car?
Well, it's a lot, right? So, as a racer, I had this expectation that, like, hey, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna give it 110%, and I'm gonna do the best I possibly can, and that's going to have to be good enough because I get 8 minutes of practice twice and then 4 minutes to qualify, right? So you get a total of 20 minutes to drive the car to try to make it into the show. And like you said, I've never driven the car. I've driven cup cars, but I've never driven this style cup car, and it's totally different than anything I've ever driven. So, it was an up and down weekend for us for sure. right? Like the very first practice we had, we were within like 3/10 of the fastest cars, and I know 3/10 is a lot on a short track like the stadium, but I was like, okay, well, if we can get the car doing this or this, then if we could pick up another tenth, we'd be, in the hunt to be in the top 20. And we just adjusted it the wrong way, right? Because I don't know what feel I needed or feel I was looking for that particular car, and it doesn't drive anything like a modified. But the team worked really hard. Like we made absolutely the wrong decision for the heat race, and that thing was terrible. But then Jerry Kelly and our engineers put their heads together, and Tommy Baldwin and all that, and changed the car around for Sunday's last chance race. And the car was actually way better. It still wasn't great, but it was way better. So much to the fact that I was able to mix it up and trying to pass some cars on the outside and got stuck in the fence and cut the right rear down and damaged the car some. But man, we had an incredible experience, right? Like my family, my friends, my brother, Megan, and the kids. Dude, it was just super cool for the way that everybody treated me at the racetrack this weekend, because they treated me just like I was a cup driver, and I thought that was super special. And I'll be honest with you, I think that I done an okay job, and I think Burt done an okay job. For no more experience than we had in those cars, I think that both of us represented everybody at the stadium and all short track racers fairly well.
I agree. I'm in 100% agreement with that. I enjoyed watching you and Burt the entire weekend and seeing the progression through both days and everything. I think it was something really special for y'all. And like you say, you was representing Bowman Gray in a whole, and it really made me happy to see y'all and everything.
Well, I appreciate it, because I tried really hard. And the thing that I didn't want, I didn't want to leave there and feel like that I'd let anybody down, right? Because every time I strap in a car, I give 110%. And there was a lot of pressure on me to perform at any level, right? So just getting out there and making laps and not wrecking the car just in practice, because they are different, right? And to, in the first practice, they were like, okay, you got somebody 6 car lengths back. Well, I would slow down and let them pass me so I could try to follow them and see, like, hey, where do they lift? Where do they brake? How do they turn in? What's their car doing that mine won't do? So I could go back and tell the engineers, like, hey, I need help here. And I learned a lot in that 8-minute practice. And then in the second 8-minute practice, we adjusted on the car and made it a little bit better. And then I was telling them, like, hey, I need it to do this and this better. And they're like, okay, well, we'll make a big swing for the heat race. We'll qualify it like this because you know how it's going to drive. We don't want to throw something crazy at it and you not be able to drive it or not expect what it's going to do or anticipate what it's going to do. So let's just qualify this. And, we ran the same speed in qualifying that we ran in that last practice, which we felt like was okay because that's all it would run, right? And then for the heat race, they're like, okay, well, now look, we need to make some ground up, so we're going to make a big swing at it, and it was the wrong way. And we knew that from lap 1 that it was the wrong way. But we learned from that and knew that we needed to go the other way of the spectrum for the last chance race. And, I feel like we had a decent showing in that last chance race. Even though we didn't make the race, I still feel like I learned every lap. I got to mix it up with guys that make millions of dollars to drive these things, and that made me proud. Was not proud at all that we didn't make the show and finish 10th in the last chance race. Not proud of that at all, but I'm proud of the effort that I put in, the time that I put in, and the race team. Everybody at RWR worked their guts off on this thing, and man, I just wanted to go and have a good time and really enjoy it, and I did. I soaked it all in. Actually got emotional a couple of times. Chris, you had to interview me right before I got in the car, and I teared up, right? Because I know how much it meant to Megan and Cam and Marley and my brother and everybody that's involved with me, how special this whole weekend was. And I tried really hard to not get emotional because it's a big deal, right? But I couldn't help it. Like, Chris, I love you to death, and then you have that bond, and just the way that you asked me, it just hit me like right there that, hey, I'm getting to climb in a cup car and go race against Kyle Larson, right? Kyle Larson was in my heat race, right? Ryan Blaney was in my heat race. So the last chance race, and it was super cool. It was a great experience, and looking so forward to getting to do it again sometime soon.
So, and I am going to talk about that real quick. So at the beginning of this show, I talked about Emma. I you know, I ain't gonna say I lost it, but every time I talk about that child, at some point, if I talk about it often or whatever, I will get emotional. People can say what they want to. I don't give a rat's behind. It's just part of it. I was close to that child and that family. When I spoke to you and asked that, and we did that interview, and we hugged like I ain't never hugged a person in my life. That was the most heartfelt hug that me and you had. And I walked away and I stopped. I said, I got to turn around and get in the media center and post this immediately, because unless you went in the media center where the Wi-Fi was at, you would not post nothing. Most of y'all have phones, seen it. It was a pain in the rear. So as me trying to get content out faster than the other people that was doing the same thing that I was, and that's, yes, it was a competition. I said, I got to get this out about Tim. I said, because that was one of the most heartfelt. I want, you know, whether it's you or Burt, and Messer just put up a great picture of you and Burt. You know, that right there, just, that speaks, you know, volumes. You know, at the end of the day, you know, both of y'all, whether you admit it or not, y'all respect the hell out of each other. And whether it was you or Burt, whoever, I want, my mission with this show, with what I do out there, is I want all of these people that don't know y'all to see that you and Burt Myers are parents. Okay. Y'all are good people and fierce competitors. So when I did that interview and I looked at you and you started happening, and I just, it was, I told you, thank you for that. And for those of y'all that are listening and hadn't seen it, scroll down on my page and go watch it. It's really, it's true blue. But I do appreciate the time that you, and I didn't get hardly none of Burt, but there's also at that time that I talked to you, and I want to say this before we let you go and you get to say more. First off, I never got in front of none of these other media people. When I seen them there, I waited my turn. Every time I talked to Burt, it really wasn't the time to put the phone in front of his face. I sat and watched you for a while by yourself over there, and I said, you know, and I always ask. I don't just put the phone up, hey, Tim, I ask. And you was good with it. I appreciate your time on that. And I know that we was going to have Cam on tonight, and I double booked on being an idiot that I can be sometimes, but we're going to have Cam on next week, and we're going to let him be able to talk about it and the experience at Pulliam's and everything. You know, it's hard to put in words, I would think, if I was you, Tim Brown, on how everything went from A to Z.
It was truly special. And I think, Chris, and everybody listening, the reason that I was so emotional is because when I'm racing the modified, you know, Cam and Marley and Megan are right there, right? Like, they can get to me, and I can get a hug from all three of them before I climb in the car, right? Well, in this series, it ain't like that, right? You can't have kids down there, and she was looking after them up in Todd's balcony deal there that they had going on. And that's why I was so emotional, because there was nothing more that I wanted before I climbed in that car was a hug from my family, right? Because I knew they were up there and supporting me. And it really hit me, because I know how much my family means to you and all you do for them, for Cam's Corner, and just this how special of a relationship we have. And for you to ask me the questions that you were asking me, man, it hit me like, you know, hey, I wish they were here for me to hug them right before I climb in this car.
Yeah.
To go do the best that I can do. And the people that see that, I don't want y'all to think I'm soft or whatnot, but I have that much love for the sport, and I have that much love for my family, and that's a true expression of emotion that you captured in that moment. And to me, that will always be special because I don't do that a lot on camera.
Right. Yeah. Well, man, look, I just, are we missing anything? I just, I wanted this to be, I wasn't going to do it like this, but I told Messer, I said, Riley Neal, I said, how do I do a 4-part series promoting this and building it up each week? Our Bowman Gray guys. All right, we're going to throw some cup spotters and Ryan Priest in. But how do you not talk to Tim Brown, Burt Myers, and our Modified Classic winner, Chris Fleming, and have you in here? Riley had a good run, didn't he, Tim?
Yeah, and I was glad to see Chris win the race. With Jerry Hunt Super Center on his car. At least one of us, got the victory for Todd and everybody there. Super big weekend for the Hunt family and everybody that was on my Cup car. It was a great experience for everybody. And I got to thank Todd and Jody and everybody at Jerry Hunt Super Center for all they do, and Bruce Hayes at Hayes Jewelers, and Chris and Amanda Fletcher at Traffic Control Safety Services, Zach and Nicole Burek at Duggan's Welding, everybody at Mobile One, Mark and Sharon at Pulliam's, Dario, Jeff, and Rusty, and everybody from Dario that was partnered up with us for the weekend. Just so many people. Mobile One was a big deal. Everybody at RWR, all my sponsors on the modified car, just everything. Jeff Day's with us now, and he's making huge improvements to our race team. We are blessed, and we are going to have a spectacular 2025 season.
And yeah, Tim, this is Eric Messer. So we had a comment here come through on Facebook asking, I'm sure there's been some talks and everything, but do you see yourself getting back into the Cup car at some point if the Clash comes back next year, or maybe do like another short track on the schedule at some point?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's stuff in the works for that. I can't really talk about it, but yes, I'm ready to do more for sure, and think that that opportunity is definitely going to be there, and looking forward to that. And I'm a racer, man. I just hate that at this age in my life when I got the opportunity to do it. And I tell you, one other emotional video was after the race when I got out of the car. There was a bunch of reporters there, and a microphone in my face, and they were all like, "Hey, man, you run 10th." Well, I was upset because I run 10th that I didn't make the show, right? And I was super emotional because I didn't make the show because I wanted to make the show. But then, I was upset because I couldn't grab my family and hug them and all that. And I didn't know at the time, how did it go, right? How does Todd Hunt feel about it? And how does Chris and Amanda Fletcher feel about it? And how does Bruce Hayes feel about it? And how does Zach and Nicole feel about it? How does Megan and the kids feel about how I done, right? Because I care. You know what I mean? We sacrifice so much to do this that I wanted it to be special for all of them. And I ran and changed clothes and then ran up to the balcony as fast as I could. And the reception that I got from everybody up there was phenomenal, right? Because part of me felt like a failure because I didn't make the show. And that's hard, right? Because we put so much into it. But to see the love that I had from my family and from Todd and Jody and Chris and Amanda and Zach and Nicole and Rusty LaRue and Jeff Speaks and, Mark and Sharon, it was okay. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I enjoyed the experience that I got over the weekend. And if I never get to strap into another one, I gave it everything I had. I got out of that car and I was exhausted because I gave it everything I had. And I went to work Monday morning and I helped those guys tear that car down. And I thanked all those guys for everything that they done for me. You know what I mean? And they were all, this is exactly what they said. That race is over. We got to focus on Daytona. Forget about it.
So
that's how hard this series is.
Yeah. One more. I gotta talk about this real quick. It's having access to the media center. And I walked in one time, and you're up there. Y'all should have heard these questions some of these people was asking Tim Brown. He was a hoot up there. He had me cracking up. But yeah, I'm telling y'all, like, well, Tim, they say they fight a lot. Have you ever been in a fight? Tim's like, yeah, about 10 times. Did they? These are questions they're asking you. What did you win? Yeah, every time.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, man, these people. I respect every one of them, but some of the questions I had, I was just looking at this smirky grin on your face because I know you pretty well. I'm like, bless his heart. But you know, Todd Hunt was there he was in the back, him and his wife at that press conference when you were being questioned by the media. I sat down in my assigned seat and I watched Todd. When I walked by, he acknowledged his weight. I shook his hand. I sat down and I watched him. I'd look over at you, do your deal, and I'd watch Todd. The smile. Just this crap-eating smile that he had. It was like a dad. You hear me? You hear me? I'm telling you something that you didn't know. I watched the man. I should have took a picture, but I'm always scared if I try to be sneaky like that, I'll get busted. Then I have to explain myself, and then I'll piss somebody off. So I didn't even want to put my phone toward him. But
well, you can't take a picture in disguise anyways.
Well, yeah, I can. But he did, Riley. But I watched him. Okay, all right. I'm gonna fast forward. Ben stopped and talked to me. I was right there by you. Okay, in other words, where you was at on Todd's deal. If you'd have looked to the right, there was me because there was some of that stuff that was squared off or however with those things for media. So I was looking right there, and Ben was like, "Go there and talk to us." I ain't gonna bother him. That's their time. I'm not bothering him. I've done enough of that this whole weekend. Todd come walking by again. It's just like this grin on his face. Like, so you know, he got TV time, everybody in your car. Once again, Mike Joy, who I did get to meet and spend some time with on Friday. Those people, Clint Boyer, Kevin Harvick, Mike Joy, did a great job supporting and talking about you and Burt. And with all that being said, man, you should hold your head high. There's people commenting on this. We're all proud of you, both you and Burt. Y'all definitely represented Bowman Gray Stadium perfectly. And, you know, I speak for a lot of people. We're very proud of you. And, you know, we'll do it again, I'm sure. All of us.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I do appreciate, I'm going to be honest with you. I had a lot of Burt's fans, you know, congratulating me, you know, just for the opportunity, right? And I know that that's hard for them to do, right? Because they hate me, you know what I mean? Like they really do. So, and I respected that, right? And I hope that some of my fans showed him the same
they did
respect.
They
right?
did, Tim. I seen it.
It was a really big deal. You know what I mean? For both of us, it was a really big deal.
Tim, that's one thing I pushed on this show, and anybody that's watched it can say, I don't care. You know, you can hate Tim, love Burt, hate Burt, love Tim, hate both of them, love Riley. It don't. At the end of the day, what needs to happen is everybody needs to love on Tim and Burt together for this cup race.
I agree.
They represent Bowman Gray Stadium and each one of us. Period. End of story. Don't be a jackleg. Don't be no jerk. And April 19th, y'all go back to the way you used to do things. That's fine. But for this race, we've got to all come together and be supportive of both of y'all. Look, I know it's getting right. It's probably past your bedtime. You want to thank family, friends, and sponsors or whatever else you want to shut out with? You go ahead.
I do, but I've also got to share one thing.
Do it.
The love and respect that I got from the other Cup drivers, I was absolutely overwhelmed by. Kyle Larson came to me and shook my hand and said, "Man, you're the man here. Looking forward to racing with you."
You should have wrecked him.
Like, dude, like what an honor, right? Like, you know, me and Ricky Stenhouse has been buddies. He drove for us at Roush for a long time, and you know, but on Saturday, you know, he reached out to me before we ever got to the racetrack. Like, man, I'm pulling for you. I hope you can do good. You know, me and Busher's buddies, and we talk and Priest. You know, I got a good
picture. I got a great picture of you and Chris Busher talking. A good picture. I'll send it to you.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and man, like talking to these guys, they loved that racetrack. Yeah. They loved it.
Yes.
So all the Cup drivers that I talked to absolutely had a great time at the stadium. And that to me, like just for those guys to even know who I am, right, is super cool. And then for those guys, like I didn't know Kyle Larson knew who I was, right? And I mean, dude, that was so freaking cool. And then all the people for the 30-some years I've worked in Cup racing that's reached out to me, come up to me at the racetrack, like, man, congrats on getting this opportunity. Rodney Childers, crew chief I've worked with many times, spent some time with him. Like, man, that was so awesome. It was so awesome. But I know you guys got to go, and but I've got to thank God for allowing this to be in part of my life.
Amen.
Right. And my lovely wife, Megan, and Cam and Marley, and my entire family for the support that they've given me through the years. And then getting into the finances behind it all is Todd Hunt, Jerry Hunt Supercenter, Bruce Hayes at Hayes Jewelers, Chris and Amanda Fletcher at Traffic Control Safety Services, Mark and Sharon Flint at Pulliam's Hotdogs, Mobile One, just Raymock Racing Engines. We just have Dario was on board for the weekend, thanks to Jeff and those guys. My race team, Mark Joyce, for the awesome T-shirts and apparel that he done for us. So many people. I've got Safe Day on the car now, Colors Edge, just so many people to thank that Precision Suspension, VP Racing Fuels, Duggan's Welding, Zach and Nicole for all that they do. Just, man, I could not be more blessed to be in the situation that I'm in, to have the family support, the financial support, just the love that's shared amongst what I've got going on right now is absolutely unbelievable. And God has blessed me with that. And I cannot look, I'm the most jacked up I've ever been to go racing in 2025.
Looking forward to it. And you know what? April 19th will be here before we all know it, my friend. Tim, I want to thank you for your kindness to me and what you do and allowed me to be a part of what you did this weekend, you and Burt both. I'm adamant about that. Once again, I've said it 4 times, I'm going to say it 5. We're all proud of you. You represented really well, and we thank you for your time, my friend.
Thank you guys as always, and God bless everybody out there in the racing world, and see y'all soon.
All right, buddy. Be safe. So that's good stuff. And you know what? Y'all don't go nowhere because we got even more good stuff coming up with Burt Myers. And that, these guys did represent all of us, Riley Neal, and then yourself included. You had some of the Dash people there, huh?
Yeah. I had Cody there that had been a big step in getting all of this done. Cody and me talked a lot to put all this in place, and obviously we had Brian there, the president and general manager, and like I say, it was just a really big deal for me, and I wanted to kind of what on Tim said. He was more worried about like what did Todd think, what did these people think when he got out of the race car. And that was my first thought, is when I got out of the race cars, I was thinking, what did Brian think? What did all these people think? That's the first thing that comes to your mind. Y'all
are different because I've got, 35, 36 sponsors on this show. You know what you get when you're a part of it, okay? If I give you 110%, I'm a race car driver. Even back in my boxing career years ago, I give 110%. I give it my all. I run the miles I was supposed to run. I did the push-ups I was supposed to do. I hit on that heavy back. Everything that I've done or will do. If I was a driver, would I be worried about it? If I give 110% and they still complain, well, Riley, you finished. Where'd you finish? 3rd or 6th? 3rd?
6th.
6th. Okay. Riley, you finished 6th. You finished 5th. There'd be a middle finger. I'm sorry, buddy. Thank you for your support. But look, everybody's going to get mad and say something about this, but it is what it is. I know people like you. I know you well now too. And I know I've gotten to be friends with Burt Myers to where he has been a major part. We're fixing to get to Burt Myers too. But I know that Burt Myers, Riley Neal, Tim Brown, these guys, what y'all do, they're the competitors. It's what y'all do. If y'all put yourselves in a wagon and pulled it to see who was fastest in a wagon, it would be 110%. I believe these sponsors, Citrus Safe with Burt, and all these people, they're with them for a reason. Winston-Salem Dash got with you for a reason because they know. I understand it's natural, though. I wonder if they're happy or not. But if that man, the president of that company, knows Riley Neal, he knows you gave 110%. I promise those Citrus Safe people that is associated with Burt Myers, they know that man. He gave 110%.
Oh yeah, and I mean I agree with that, but like I say, it's just that thing. It's in the back of your mind. Are they proud of me?
Absolutely. All right, we're gonna take Messer's got this commercial. Shut up, Chris. All right, Burt Myers is gonna be up next. We're gonna give him the time that he needs, and we're gonna do a commercial break, and we'll be right back. I appreciate each and every one of you. I love y'all. Don't go nowhere. With our copyright-free music. At H&H Auto Repair, no job is too big or too small. Family owned and operated for over 20 years, they can do it all. From oil changes to engine swaps to North Carolina inspections, H&H Auto Repair is your one-stop auto shop. Located at 3088 Kernersville Road in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, right next to Tickle Pink's convenience store, stop by and see Daniel and Philip Harrison and tell them old CC sent you. That's H&H Auto Repair, 3088 Kernersville Road in Winston-Salem. Ever Ready Mix Concrete has been in business for 40 years, and they can handle any and all of your concrete needs, whether big or small. They can do it all. Located at 2000 Old Highway 421 East in Yadkinville, North Carolina, Ever Ready Mix Concrete, they're family owned and operated, and for a free quote, give David Adams a call at 336-961-6688. Hey everybody, it's Chris Carter, host of Talking Circles with Chris Carter and an announcer here at the historic Bowman Gray Stadium. And I want to just take 1 second, if I could please, to tell you all about Velasta. I've discovered Velasta. I'm now day 18 of taking this amazing product. I had Sam Shepard on my podcast 3 weeks ago. And once again, I've had arthritis of my spine and my knees, and I've been able to get around. It's made such a difference in my life. I had these things on my elbow that are basically gone away now. So go to Velasta.net, check this amazing product. I promise you'll thank me. Velasta.net, Velasta Racing. Y'all go check them out. It has made such a difference in my life. I'm telling you, my way of living has changed drastically in only 17 days. Check them out, Velasta.net. Welcome back, Talking in Circles with Chris Carter, presented by J&T Services. This is Riley Neal, driver of the 07 Winston-Salem Dash Garage Doors of the Triad Modified races at Bowman Gray Stadium. We're coming to you live from the Choice Tire Automotive Studios here in Kernersville, North Carolina. And coming up next, we've got our 11-time track champion who also, like I said earlier, we have represented us so well, and I'm excited to have him on. Burt, how are you, buddy? How about you, Burt?
Hey, I'm here.
There he is. What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm good, man. How about y'all?
We're good. We're good. We just had Tim on, and Messer's got the picture up of you and him, and yeah, talking to Tim, and you know, he kind of touched on something about you and him together, how y'all represented the stadium. And I've been real adamant about it, is how I said this on the show for the 4 weeks leading up to this race when we did the Cookout Clash at Bowman Gray Stadium countdown on this show. I kept saying, whether you love Burt, hate Tim, love Tim, hate Burt, hate Tim, love Riley, or love Chris Fleming or whatever, at this time, this is a time for everybody to show some love to our people. Bert, do you feel like that really happened? Because I do. I know what I heard. I know what I seen. I know what I read. It was like to me that everybody kind of come together for the both of y'all. Do you kind of feel like that in a way?
Yeah, I can tell you a funny story.
Please do. We want to hear it.
So Kim and them sat in the stands on the backstretch, and they said there were some Tim Brown fans sitting in front of them. And obviously they were showing their displeasure towards me during the cup, the LCQ. And they said whenever I got turned around and put in the wall, that those people started shooting the 47 car bird. So there's your Tim Brown story of your fans turning around and pulling for me at the same time. So yeah, I think the whole community probably felt the same way. And it's not necessarily that maybe they were pulling for me, but they respected the fact that the local short track modified guys were in the big show, and I think they all respected that.
I was talking to Tim, and we were talking about, I got to do an interview, right? He was sitting on the car by himself, and he got emotional during the interview, and it made me think of you for this reason. He talked about with his kids being so small, they couldn't be there and so used to them being able to give a hug before they got in. And it reminded me at that moment, I was standing there and Jade was back there kind of standing back. And there was this one of all the people, there was one, he didn't even work for NASCAR. He had that green vest on. Mr. I was picked on as a kid. So now I've got a little authority and I'm going to be a jackleg. That guy. And he's like telling Jade, go over. And I walked over. I said, you know what, Jade, we ought to just go right in here. I'm going to give you my media pass. But although, and Jade is older, as we all know, and she did get to be with you and hang out because that's when me and you and Christian Joyce was talking right after all that. But as a dad and a family man, how cool was it that you did, unlike Tim, had everybody right there as almost the whole time being in the cup car?
Yeah, well, that's part of it, and they were celebrating the whole weekend with me,
Mm-hmm.
And the same as I was, and just the support from them, and they thought it was cool, just like I thought it was cool, and it was really neat to have them there. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, it's hard to put it into words just because everything that you go through together as a family. And, when they do get a little older, and Lauren's down in Duke as a nurse doing her thing, Jade works for the NASCAR Institute down in Mooresville, Slate's bouncing around from school and whatnot. And for all five of us to be there together, and be there to support me, it made it a whole lot more worthwhile.
I want to go back. Excuse me. I want to go back and talk about the modified race. And I told you this the other day talking to you. I don't even remember what they said, Chris Carter, have you ever listened to Burt Myers on the radio? And I said, no, I haven't actually. Usually when Burt Myers is racing, I have a microphone calling the race. Okay. So no, I haven't listened to Burt. They said they were more entertained and thrilled about listening to you. They had never listened themselves, but apparently they had a scanner and was able to. Said that you were about one of the most entertaining drivers they've ever listened to on the radio. And I told you about that story, and your response was, 9 points, let's have fun, racing with your son. How cool was that?
Well, I mean, I guess maybe hearing you say that again, and now that I'm not in the middle of all the chaos.
Right, yeah.
Weekend, I think anybody that knows me knows I'm pretty much the same all the time. And there's sometimes that you might not like what I got to say, but I won't lie to you. I'll tell you the truth. And I like to talk and surprise, right? But I think on the radio, I just have that same personality, and I try to make light of it. And if you don't make light of it, sometimes you can get caught up in it. And if you let yourself get upset and you let yourself get mad and you take it out on the radio, it's not doing anything but hurting you. And so I've kind of trained myself over the years to just stay positive and have a good time with it. And yeah, I flip back and forth under caution. I might flip over, me and Slate talk a little bit. And when he got turned around down there and it blocked me in, and I was stopped too, and I gave him a thumbs up and he gave me a thumbs up, and I flipped over to his channel and I said, dude, it's cool. We got a long way to go. We're going to use this cone. We're going to get back to front. And he said, Dad, I'm sorry I took you with me. I said, man, it's cool, bro. Let's just go back racing. So, yeah, it's all about enjoying the moment.
Yeah, Bert, this is Eric. So with the team of Maravet, the team he drove for this weekend, they put out something on Saturday night or maybe Saturday morning that they raised $250,000 to erase debt for veterans. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm not sure exactly how the specifics work, but I know that Amerivet and Forgiveco, they buy the debt and they relieve it for veterans. And so the amount that was raised leading up to this and for a Bowman Gray event with the cup race was $250,000. So that's veterans that I guess have served this country that are that amount went to how many ever it is that relieve their debt. So they get videos and calls all the time, heartfelt videos and calls from people that are veterans that, you know, man, I just didn't know what I was going to do. And then all of a sudden I find out this bill's been paid. So there's not many people and organizations in the world anymore that do stuff like that. So it was awesome to be a part of that team with that organization and that kind of, that kind of outfit.
So, Burt, this is Riley. I'll tell you the same thing I sort of told Tim. It was something really cool for me to see both of y'all in the Cup car and get to be there on Sunday and get to watch the whole process throughout the 2 days. Like I say, me and you, we've raced together a couple of times and been able to race well together and everything. And to see y'all represent, I say me, but the entire stadium community at the next level is something that's just huge to me and something that really makes me excited and hope that someday I may be in the same position to be able to do that. Me and Slate be able to do it, you know?
Oh, yeah, man. I appreciate you saying that, man. And we, it's funny because you don't think about it that way when you're in the moment. But then you see the comments and you get the texts and the calls and all the stuff, and then comments from other racers like you that when you hear that kind of stuff, it makes you proud and it humbles you that people are looking at you in that light. And it's funny because I heard somebody sent me a small clip today from Ryan Blaney, and Ryan said the last thing I was going to do was run into Burt Myers. And so just to hear stuff like that is funny. And, it's funny that they look at it that way. And so I've been able to, I've been in some cool spots in my life, and I'm blessed to say that. And I've made some really good friends over the years, and a lot of them in the Cup world. And just because of my family history and the spots that I've been able to be in and be a part of. And every one of those guys, I think I said it in one of my videos after the race, excuse me, as they were walking out for driver introduction, I'd say 75% of them gave me a bro hug and was like, man, good job. You were coming in front. We were pulling for you. And in that same light, you're buddies and you think, oh man, I appreciate that. But at the same time, you take a step back out and you look at outside looking in and you're like, man, William Byron just told me he was pulling for me. Or, yep. Noah Gregson, dude, I'm telling you what, me and Noah Gregson are going to become tight.
That dude's awesome, ain't he? Yeah.
Dude, he is so cool. And he says, man, you're so cool. And I say, no, you're so cool. He is off the hook, man. And
true blue, Burt. Like true blue.
Well, yeah, right?
Yeah.
So the thing about it is for those guys that we see on Sunday, and a lot of people think that those are just movie stars on TV that you could never come in contact with.
No.
To think about those guys on a bigger scale, you think about those guys are paying attention to us over at our little quarter mile in Winston-Salem. And to see the look on some of those guys' faces that they're getting to participate in the Madhouse. And, I've over the years, and a lot of it, be honest with you, a lot of the guys that I've made friends with was because of the Madhouse TV show. And I would run into them. We're every year we go to the NASCAR Cup banquet because of the Myers Brothers Award for my grandpa and Bobby Myers. And they would come up to me, man, I watched that show. That was so cool, man. Can't wait to come to Bowman Gray. Well, they had a cup race at Bowman Gray. So for that to happen and for NASCAR to make this happen and put this on, that just Riley, it should make every one of us that race at Bowman Gray proud of what we have over there. And hopefully we can keep it going for years to come.
Real quick, Messer's got a question, but I have to know this. I'm going off in another lane. If Burt Myers, if your niece goes to the University of Alabama, are you allowed to say Roll Tide once?
If you want me to, I can say whatever I want.
I seen Emma.
I can
I
say
seen
Roll
Emma.
Tide.
Emma,
That's cool.
Emma was
I don't
watching,
care.
and
Yeah,
every time
why
I see
not?
Emma, every time everybody knows my Alabama how much I love them, but I seen Emma at the show she was in here, and I'm like, I'm gonna do that one time. So, but anyway, Messer's got something for you, and then I've got to throw something at you as well.
Yeah,
Let's have it.
it's the same question that we got for Tim earlier from one of our commenters here. I know probably you can't go too deep into it, but if you have anything lined up, could we see you in a Cup car again at a short track, or maybe at Bowman Gray if it comes back again next year?
I can't imagine it. We haven't thought that far into the future, but I can't imagine that we won't be able to put something together for next year if the Clash comes back. If the Clash doesn't come back, there's going to be a lot of disappointed people. I did a video today at my shop that they posted about 6:00 tonight, and it was a lengthy video, but it was very detailed, and we had some fun with it. But the same question came up, and I think that NASCAR hit a home run by bringing that Clash to Bowman Gray Stadium. That not just for us, but for the world. Man, what did it say? 46 states and 4 countries were represented.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So to answer your question, can't talk a whole lot about it, but I'd say that there are some things in the works. In this day and time in this world that logistics are everything. And whether you can put the financial pieces of the puzzle together, that's what drives this whole country, not just racing. So I've been told that it's a real good chance that something's going to happen. But right now there's no ink on the paper. So, I'd love to do it. And I said in my video, listen, if there's anybody that wants to come together and try to make something happen, I'm a racer. And whether it's, a truck, Xfinity, another Cup race, I don't care. ARCA, I don't care. I just want to race. And I know you guys can relate to that. It's not that I'm thinking that, well, I don't want to race that series or I don't want to do that. Dude, I'll go race anywhere, anytime with anything if I can, if it makes sense, to do it. So I'd keep my ears out. We'll post it and we'll let everybody know if something happens.
Right. And one more thing before I let Chris get back to you. So you kind of touched on it at the beginning that NASCAR, I mean, we all think that they hit a home run bringing the Clash here. And the Clash, I mean, it's hard to say. It's hard to mention that. I mean, it's kind of lost its identity the past couple of years with it moving from Daytona to L.A. and them having. I mean, it was great in L.A., but of course it had its struggles and everything. Do you think that the Clash has found a whole new identity, and do you think the Clash could be here for a long time at Bowman Gray Stadium?
I think, from what I'll be the first to tell you, and I feel like I'm repeating myself because I said a lot of this stuff, which they're just common questions, but I said a lot of this stuff today in my video. I think that I was one of the first to say that modified race will be good, but that Cup race is going to be terrible. They're too big, they're too heavy, they're not very agile. They're going to run single file. They can't pass. I said all of that stuff. I did. I'll be the first to tell you, and they proved me wrong. I sat up on top of that balcony and watched that race and was amazed. And I was part of the race, so I felt the car too. The car had a lot more agility, a lot more forward drive, a lot more grip than I expected. So to sit up there knowing what I knew from running the stuff leading up to the feature, to watch those cars run side by side and Denny Hamlin to poke his nose out. And I sat on the balcony, so I had a really good view of it. And Denny Hamlin would come in the corner a half a groove off the bottom with his nose to Chase Elliott's right rear and hold that all the way through the corner.
Yeah.
We can't even hardly do that in the modified. So if NASCAR, and you can quote me on this, if NASCAR takes this race somewhere else, it's a mistake in my mind. And I don't think I'm alone in saying that. The reaction from the fans, the people who have lost touch with it, who have thought, man, oh, they're going here, we'll take a nap. I thought that the race was going to be boring, and they proved me wrong. It was amazing.
It's coming back. Okay. There y'all go. It's coming back.
I knew. I had heard 2 years, and then I heard 3 years this past weekend. So I'll be honest with you, too. I really think that it was they probably signed the deal for 2 years. Okay.
Yep.
But I still think in the back of NASCAR's mind, it was a well, let's see how this goes. After seeing what I saw the other night, to me, it's a no-brainer. It'll be back, dude. Why would you want to take it somewhere else?
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean, how could you top what they did Saturday night? I guess is the best way to put it.
Exactly.
After the product of racing that was put out, I don't see why they would want to take it anywhere
They
else.
won't. I'm on
I agree.
Seth Caldwell, S&P Lemonade, one of your sponsors, said, I think they did a great job with the Clash, but I heard that people, here's the key word. He said, but I heard that people were waiting on buses back to some of the parking lot until 2 a.m. I think that needs to be fixed for sure. Okay, I'm going to say it again, Seth. The key word is you heard. You wasn't there, apparently, because me and that guy right over there was. So as far as there was nobody left at the stadium, me and Messer left out of the media center as one of the last ones, even of the media.
Yep, we rolled out with the trucks about 11:30.
Yeah, when the trucks rolled out, closer to midnight, we were told in the media center that the buses will continue to run until 1 o'clock. Okay, and they did. So no bus, in my opinion, should be running at 2 a.m. If there's any individuals left at that track at 2 a.m., they're drunk, they're in a ditch, and they had a really good time. And that I wish a bus or a taxi would pick them up. But Seth, that's like I said, if you heard that. But me and Messer were there and waiting on buses, and we were actually listening to NASCAR and the cops make sure everybody was taking. I said at the top of the show how good Winston-Salem Police. I hope that helps you out, Seth. And S&P Lemonade, let's give them a shout out. They're great. So Burt, I've got to talk about this real quick. I'm telling everybody as well, because Burt, you'll know what I'm talking about. All right, so they're having a track walk, y'all. All right, and remember I said I really, really wish, Burt Myers, that I could have had a microphone during that race on Saturday. I really do. I feel like that what we do on a Saturday night was not duplicated. Okay. So I'm not, it is what it is. But I feel like that none of that race fans up on your feet, make some noise that I always do on a race night. None of that happened. Riley, you agree?
Yeah, I agree. From the announcer standpoint. Yeah.
Burt, you know what I'm saying here, right? So I was like, I really wanted that to happen, but it didn't. So I'm going to fast forward some. We're doing the track walk, y'all. And I hear a few fans. And I look over there, and there's Burt. And behind Burt, not that far, is Jeff Gordon. I said, you know what? I told myself, I said, Self, my name's Chris, so I know my name. And I said, Chris. And he said, what? I said, let's have a little bit of fun. Let's see if we can, let's make Burt Myers smile. You remember what I'm talking about, Burt?
Yeah.
Burt's walking out of turn 2. Fat boy Chris Carter. I go up and I yell as loud as I can to these fans, and there was quite a few of them. People up on your feet, make some noise for our hero, Burt Myers. And they made a little noise, and I was like, no, I need you to get louder. Burt, I swear I thought your face was getting a little red when I looked over at you, but that I had so much fun and looking over there and seeing that big old grin on your face. And Jeff Gordon talked about it when I walked over there and introduced myself to let the man know that I'm really not crazy. I do announce at that place, and there was a reason behind that. Went and told Jeff Gordon that. He said that was awesome.
Yeah.
And that kind of put, in my opinion, how we are and stuff. But, I was like, looked at you and just that grin, and I was like, that was pretty cool.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know what one of the coolest parts was? Yes, you're right. And that happened multiple times throughout the weekend. I think one of the things that stands out to me, and this is going to sound odd, when I was out there on the track and after the drivers had already come through with when they pushed the cars out, and the cars were already on the backstretch. And I'm standing there and we're getting ready to do be the grand marshals, and me and the other drivers, and going, gentlemen, start your engines. And I kind of look up in the stands, and I'm just kind of scanning the stands. Do you know how many faces I recognized in that one section there? Zero.
I didn't either.
That struck me as cool. That's how many
Yeah.
new people came over to see what we have.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
sitting there going, because Riley, you know what I'm talking about. When you walk out for a pole award, or you work out for an award, or you walk out for anything that they bring you out there on the start-finish line, and you see the same people that come down in the pits and they talk to you after the race, or you see them week after week after week. And I'm scanning through there looking for people that I recognize, and I couldn't find any.
Yeah, and that's
Man,
something
that's
it's
cool.
weird.
That
It
was
was
cool.
weird to me.
It is weird. Now, don't get me wrong. It was weird that who are these people? But it was cool in a weird sense. It was cool that these people came to see what we have, because let's not make a mistake about it. That's our show.
Yeah.
That's our house. This is our product. And people, not just around the country, but people around the world, wanted to know, what is this Bowman Gray? What do they got going on here? And they came to see it, and they turned their TV on to watch it.
And boy, they packed it in too. It was.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, it was funny, it was difficult to walk in the car
There
course.
with Christian Joyce. I believe it was Christian Joyce made the comment. He said, "There ain't no way there's only 17,000 people here."
Oh, no.
It looks
God,
cool.
No. Burt, how do you summarize the last month for Burt Myers?
Dude, we've talked about this, about how I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I never thought that I would get to check off some of these boxes at 49 years old. I got to go around Daytona at 180 in an ARCA car.
Right.
I got to run a cup race at Bowman Gray Stadium. And let's don't discount that modified race.
Mm-hmm.
That was a special event. And for a fact that all 38, me and Tim were in the modified race, so all 37 of those cup drivers were standing there watching that race. And then the fact that they put it under such a national spotlight as well. Just everything that I've got to do, man, it's never thought it would happen. So it's been pretty cool just to experience what we've got to do. And, I think sometimes we sit back and right after the Madhouse show, we were in Las Vegas airport, and we were headed to Vegas, and we got off the plane and we were in the airport, and I yelled kind of, "Kim, come here and get this bag." And some guy whipped around and pointed at me, because Kim tells me my voice gives me away. And he pointed, "You hear that guy on TV?" I've been on a cruise ship and I saw a Burt Myers t-shirt. So
wow.
We kind of yeah, right. So we kind of get that idea that, are there really people? It's like Bigfoot. We think we know they might be out there, but we're not sure. We hear of people in Missouri and Canada, and these people comment on Bowman Gray, and man, I'm going to go to Bowman Gray. We hear about it. This weekend, we got to see it. We got to know that Bigfoot is for real.
Yeah.
That these people came. These people saw it. These people actually came from 46 states and 4 countries. And people all across the world and the country and everything else are watching us.
Right.
So I got a feeling that we just gave them a taste. And I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that first race of the year in April, if you're planning on coming, you better get there early.
Exactly.
I'm going to say it's going to be capacity.
Yeah, me too. I'm in agreement with that.
And you know what? It was me and Joey Logano and Josh Berry talking before they had to go take the group picture that y'all took, Burt. And Burt, Joey actually, when me and Josh was talking and Joey realized that I announced there, he said, "What about the other classes? How do they do?" And I said, they put on a show. I said, every class
Same thing. Yes,
puts on a show. He said, "Really, like side-by-side racing?" I said, "Yeah, Joey, seriously, they do." I said, "Have you never went to YouTube and watched any of this stuff?" He said, "Nope, but I am now." So, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right.
So, but yeah, well, man.
Well, it's funny because I don't do it anymore, but I used to fuss in the driver's meeting. I always like, I like all the divisions, but the sportsman, if I had to pick a favorite, I like the sportsman cars, So they would say, "All right, guys, you're running 3rd and 5th tonight, and sportsman's going to be running 2nd and 4th, whatever it is." And in my mind, I'm kind of doing the math. All right, if I go up, if they run right before us, I can go up there and I can watch the first 16 laps.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm starting towards the front, I might get to only watch 12 laps. But if I'm starting closer to the back, if it's a 100 lapper and I drew 18th, man, I can watch probably 17 or 18 laps.
Right.
Because I want to go watch the races.
I've got it
I
mapped
want to
out,
go
too.
up there and watch the rest of those races. I'm a fan. I really am. And I tell people, if the modified race is not good on a certain night, at least one of them other ones will be.
Yep.
Because they put on a show in every division, and I love watching all those shows.
Well, look, man, as always, thank you. When I text Burt, y'all, I was like, man, I hope I'm not pushing my luck here with you, but I wish, like I said earlier, how can you not have y'all on? How can we not wrap this all up? Even though we did a 4-part series, you've been on many times before. I appreciate your time. And Burt, before we sign off, if you will, everybody that you want to thank, man, do it one more time, please.
I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
I said, well, I appreciate you being on again. Means a lot to me and to Messer and to Talking Circles with Chris Carter. If you would, thank everybody that you want to thank one more time.
Yeah, well, obviously, I think a lot of times we start rattling off sponsors, and we don't take the time to thank our family and our fans and our crews. And, Riley's in the same boat as me, where most of your crews, your families.
Yep.
So they do it for the price of a pit pass. We don't pay those guys. They do it because they love it just like we do. So special thanks out to all the hands-on people that made it happen. And Riley, you can attest to this too. The hassle it was to get stuff from your trailer to the pit and then back to your trailer.
And we only had an allotted time.
Yeah, it was tough, but it was a sacrifice that we all were willing to make because we knew the sacrifices that were made for us to be able to have that race.
Exactly.
But let's start with CitraSafe. Pinnacle Financial Partners has come on board this year, not just with the Cup ride, but they're going to be on my Smart Modified and my Bowman Gray Modified for the rest of the year. Dario was on board with us last weekend. AmeriVet, ForgiveCo, that's the two companies that are responsible for the debt relief for the veterans. C3 Pressure Washing was on the Cup car. Don't forget about Eric and the boys over at Choice Tire. Strict Daddy Logistics came on board. They're going to be with us on the Modified this year. Butch Laughlin at Laughlin Concrete. We go to church with Butch. I've been hounding him for several years. Finally got him on the race car this year. Greg Butcher, the NASCAR Institute. Our buddy Mark Joyce. How about, man, I don't know if you saw it, Chris, and I'm going to be biased, but how about the shirt that he whipped up with the Modified and the Cup car? Him and Scotty over there.
Awesome.
They did a phenomenal job. So
look,
guys.
I got to do this real quick, Burt. I got somebody that's I think this is pretty cool. I can see who comes in and out. My buddy Brandon Jones, who's now driving for JGR, Joe Gibbs Racing, this year, is actually tuning in. Go ahead and tell Brandon, hey, Burt. Just say, hey, Brandon Jones. Do that for me, please.
Hey, what's up, Brandon?
Hey.
Yes, sir. What's going on?
I watched Brandon Jones make his first laps ever in a race car. And, Burt, this is important to me because this is like y'all and a lot of the fans that y'all been racing at Bowman Gray Stadium. Brandon Jones never, ever, never, ever has forgotten where he come from. If I need a pass to the race, I can call Brandon Jones. I can call his dad. I can call his wife, Ashley. Brandon Jones, I wish everybody that does this, and Riley, this is important for you too, as you go through the ranks. You're 17 years old. You're listed as the youngest winner driver at Bowman Gray. Going through the ranks. And Burt, I think you can attest to this. Never, ever forget where you come. Because that boy, Brandon Jones, right there, just tuned in. And I say this when he's not around. Class act. Never, ever forgot his roots. Yeah. And that's important. Burt, tell Riley, it's really important.
Absolutely. It's everything. I mean, let's be honest, it's everything.
Right.
And people would say, well, it's easy for you to say because, you've always been at Bowman Gray. But it's important. I never burn bridges, and you never forget where you came from because that's the only thing you have is your integrity and your character. And that's where that comes from, is where you came from.
That's right.
So that's why I'll be honest with you. Matt Dillner even made a joke about it. When they tell me, when they say, and I take this personal, they say Burt Myers from Kernersville, North Carolina. And I go, whoa. I live in Kernersville, but I'm from Walnut Cove, dude.
Right.
I'm from Walnut Cove. I'm from Stokes County. I take pride in that. And so we joke about it because you hear these Cup drivers that maybe live in Mooresville now, but they were from California, and they say such and such from Mooresville, North Carolina. No, wait a minute. You're from California. You might live in Mooresville, but you're from California. So, yes, to be true to that, I'm very proud to say I'm from Walnut Cove and from Stokes County, and yes, that's very important.
Did we forget anybody when I rudely interrupted you? Well, you forgot you forgot Slate.
So, man,
did you remember Slate? And did you remember S&P Lemonade?
S&P, I'm sure Bubba Speed Shop, my man Philip Smith. Poor old Philip had a knee replacement and wasn't able to come out this weekend. He came by the shop today and he's still hobbling around a little bit. But Phillips is even when I kind of started driving what we'll call my own stuff instead of driving for Philip in his cars, Philip never let go of the fact that he feels like he is part of the ownership of my team, and he treats it in that role, and I want him to, and I'm glad he does, and we embrace it. Ideal Landscaping, man, I'm trying to think of anybody else. Walkertown Girls Softball. I'm trying to run through my mind. RE suspension and RE radios. I'm sure there's somebody I'm missing. If I Haviland Express Lube, PSR. I'm trying to visualize a picture of a race car. So if I forgot anybody, I'm going to blame it on you, Chris. How about that?
That's fine. I'll take responsibility. Before you do leave, though, Emma just made it. Messer's got a picture of you in Victory Lane and your nephew, Max, and that face that this kid makes. And everybody has got used to Max going in Victory Lane with you or Jason, and these faces that kid makes is priceless. Boy, he was on this show before. I had Max in here sitting with me, and listen, it was one of those I think I peed myself a little bit moments because that kid right there.
He's a hoot, dude. I watched it. Yes, sir. He is a mess, boy. I'm telling you.
Oh, me. Burt, thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate you, man. I said it earlier, even with Tim. You've become a friend of mine, and that means a lot to me, man. And keep digging, buddy. You got a lot of people behind you, bud. Thank you for your time.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate all the support, and then we'll just keep racing. See you at the track.
See you, buddy. Bye. Our time schedule has went to double E hockey sticks in a handbasket. What was that? I just thought maybe.
That was the Windows sound.
So, is Chris on? Is he? Okay.
Well, while we wait on Chris, I'm just going to go ahead and throw this out.
Do this plug, yes.
So,
y'all listen.
This Saturday, February the 8th from 7 to 10 p.m. Check-in starts at 6 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. We're going to have the Bowman Gray Stadium Ladies Auxiliary Bowling Tournament at Northside Bowling Lanes. The entry fee is $20 a person, and the proceeds support the Bowman Gray Stadium Racing Ladies Auxiliary Community Programs with Northside Youth and Northside Youth Bowlers. I can't talk tonight. But, yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. Me and my whole team's going. Hope to see a lot of people there and get us a good crowd there.
I'm going to watch the Icebreaker, Tristan McKee, and Darren Krantz Jr.'s racing, so I'm going to do that. But please, y'all go support anything with this the Bowman Gray Ladies Auxiliary. And let's remember before we sign off, after we talk with you for a little bit, to remind them. Chris Fleming, how are you, buddy?
Hello.
Hey, Chris Fleming, how you doing, man?
I'm good, buddy. How about you?
I'm good. I mean, Chris Fleming, I think you'll even attest to how much we appreciate the Ladies Auxiliary at Bowman Gray Stadium.
I do. Yeah, they've been a great help to me, and I like their unbiased attitude and the work they do. Appreciate them all.
So, Chris Fleming, winner of the first ever modified classic at Bowman Gray Stadium on the Cookout Clash at Bowman Gray Stadium. Winner. I mean, Chris, let's do this. Walk us through it, because you know what? I can remember looking and seeing number 16 go for what sometimes we say the spin cycle with the microphone in our hands. So Let's start from the beginning and walk us through your day in that modified, that number 16 modified.
Well, I'll say this: when I first got to the racetrack to start with, I was completely wore out because when we got to the racetrack, I unloaded 3 winners. We know with Crab's age and whatever it is, he's doing this for the thrill and excitement of running Bowman Gray Stadium, but his car will still win. And, it was clear Jordan had a winner, and it was clear I had a winner. So, if Jordan's motor hadn't blew, he would have finished second in this race. And I really when I looked up on the scoreboard and I seen that 13 in second place, I said, this ending right here is going to be epic. But, I was exhausted from working. I had worked nonstop, between the car business, ministering to hundreds, if not thousands of people, and showing up a racetrack with 3 race cars. I was physically and mentally exhausted. And, when I come in the gate, I had one thing on my mind, and that was winning.
I had a chance to talk to you before everything actually you didn't even have your driving suit on yet. We kind of talked about that. And you had a different mind. I've talked to you plenty of times before a race, and it was just something about the mindset that it seemed to me you had, like man on a mission. You're always on a mission, Chris Fleming, showstopper. I don't. Let's not misunderstand what I'm saying here. There was a different type of persona about you when I, Chris Carter, talked to you, and we did an interview. Actually, people can go and look at it. It just seemed like there was just something different about the way that you was looking at this race Saturday.
Well, I knew the time I had put in, and I never walked into a racetrack more confident than I did Saturday. There was nothing on the line for me, no points, no nothing. I didn't have to worry about. For some reason, I found out the closer I get to Jesus, the more Satan will lie to me in my head. And sometimes when I'm leading a race or running up front or fighting for the lead, he'll jump right in my car with me and he'll say, "You're not going to finish this race," or "You're going to wreck," or "You're going to do no good," or "Something's going to happen." And I have to start singing, "Jesus, Jesus, Jesus, there's just something about that name." Then I'll do that wide open in my car, and I have to run him out of my car. But this race was different. From the time I walked in the gate Saturday, I was confident. I never had there was no line in my head. I knew the hours I had put in. I run last season with a motor that had 2 seasons on it, and I had a brand new Wagner motor in the car. And he had told me, he said, "Wait till you mash the throttle on this thing." And I mean, the motor was unbelievable. I tell you, I don't know what they're doing, but this thing will cross your eyeballs. And this day was different for me. I didn't get to run the Cup race for whatever reason. They want to prove me to run the Cup race. So, I think God had laid it on my heart. I got something better for you. And that better for you was end up, we won this race. And I think it's fair to say it was, if not the most prestigious racing in NASCAR Modifieds, one of the most prestigious races in NASCAR Modifieds.
Obviously, this is Riley Chris, but obviously it was a really big weekend to be a part of, and I myself, I had a great time this entire weekend and getting to race with you and Burt and everybody. I know you fought a little bit of adversity coming coming from the back, and I know you started in the back in the beginning, but going to the back and then coming back to the front and being able to win, like I say, what does the win itself and being able to be in that spotlight mean to you?
Well, I want to tell you this, Riley. I was impressed with your run. I
Thank
was
you.
happy for you. You know, I'm a fan of yours,
Well, thank you.
and I love your mom and dad, and I love what they're doing. I love watching y'all work together. I know that you and I are racing against each other. Everything probably ain't gonna be perfect, but with that being said, I'm really proud of the effort you put out. You know, I've run behind you before when I didn't know how you drove the car. It was so bad. But your car really looked good. Looks like your dad's made some advancements there on the chassis and stuff, and your car really looked good. But you know, after practice, the car was so good. You know, Frank and I had talked. You know, of course, I was planning on being on the pole, and we wound up second, and we already knew it was going to the rear because I knew the car would go right to the front. And you know, I was passing everybody on the outside, and I don't know how far I made it up, but I got hit in the left rear, and I really thought I would have saved the car, but I guess I didn't give it enough wheel. But I didn't get upset about it. You know, I knew the car was going to go right back to the front.
Right.
Oh, I thought Messer was going to say something there. I'm sorry.
He has been the last two people. That's why I looked over at him. I was like,
Yeah. So, Chris, I do want to ask about this with your sons being so much and being a big part of your program. That has to mean a lot. And we talked about this in an interview when I did talk to you Saturday morning before y'all went out for practice, how important it is to you and your family, how y'all do everything together. To not just on this such a big race we had this last weekend, but every time that you race at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Yeah, you know, ours is a family effort. You know, the boys have both got kids now, and I respected, you know, the car that Jordan's driving, Luke owns it. And Luke don't need no driver. He can drive the car himself, but he's letting his little brother drive. And through that, we found out he's the best driver in the family. He's way better than I ever thought about being. And, you know, that car that he's racing sat in a container for 10 or 11 years. And we scanned it, put a new body on it. PSR did that for him. The car looks great. And, of course, it's got a really, really good set of shocks on it. But that motor that was in that car was one that Jay Foley won the Tour Championship with, I'm thinking, 11 or 12 years ago. So, you know, I don't know if y'all know this or not. Saturday night, one of my crew members got hurt in the pits. And after the race is over, I didn't see my brother in Victory Lane. And I'm like saying, where in the world is Frank? Well, I started asking questions and nobody would tell me nothing. Well, Frank was at the hospital with our crew member. So he is okay. But you know, my sister was already texting me at 9 o'clock in the morning on Saturday morning. And of course, I was so busy I couldn't answer the phone. But, you know, my wife never says anything about me racing. If I get down, she'll push me. She'll say, Chris, go fix the car where we can win. Never talks about the money we spend. She never does anything to push me in the opposite direction. Sometimes I think she likes me at the race. She does at home. So, you know, it is definitely, you know, everybody should have a brother like mine, and everybody should have a sister like mine. You know, my sister fought with my mom and dad in a battle for any kind of normalcy for the last 4 years of their life. And Debbie had mom at home. Frank and I was trying to help her. and Debbie fought like the woman she is. She took care of mom and dad. She's as much a part of our race team as Frank and I are part of the race team. But, you know, having the boys at the shop and, you know, the grandbabies are starting to come around some. You know, the race shop is not near the house now, so it makes it a little harder for them to come. You know, my boys were raised in the race shop, but for my grandbabies to be there, you know, it makes it a little bit harder for them to come. But they've been there a couple of nights, and Charles and Luke has, and of course, baby Jordan, he's just a year old, so it's hard to bring him there. He does come, and we love on him some, but truly family effort we have.
What most of the people that even go back to the Madhouse show where you was a part of with the others used to seeing Chris Fleming in a red car. Can you share with us what the black's about?
Well, you know, Todd Hunt called me this week, or he called me Sunday morning. He said, Chris, he said, I want the car orange. And I said, he says, get it all torn down and we're going to paint it orange. And I said, Todd, I said, I'm dead, man. I said, you know, no one can imagine the hours I have in this car. Every adjustment on it is perfect. Every angle on it. It ain't close. It's perfect. I'd hate to know that I had to tear this car down and put it back together. You know, it spent hours on the surface plate, hour after hours in the garage. You know, but you know, this car was nicknamed the Money Maker. That's the New York 7. And I had a little trouble last year getting this car exactly. You know, I should have won 4 times last year points racing. And, you know, I started in the rear and come to second, and I definitely had the best car in that race. Tonight I won the $9,000. And, you know, anytime you start points racing, you can't win. And so that messed me up there. But, you know, this car was black when I got it. And I decided that we was going to leave it black. So, you know, I think the car looks good. It may not be the prettiest car I ever had, but, you know, I always said there's two colors for a race car, and that's black and ugly. So we got a black one.
Yeah, want to remind everybody that Chris Fleming did take the fans challenge and got paid. He was the winner, and that was a big deal too as well. The Chris, man, you did a great job, and well, I'll tell you, just like I told Burt and Tim, you represented us really well. That thing was on a rail, no doubt about it. Now, we thank you for how you let people know about your love for Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. Your live at 855 has turned into a very big deal to a whole lot of people. That's pretty awesome that you do all of that. And we got like 2 minutes left if you want to wind this down. Thank family, friends, and sponsor.
Yeah. You know, I seem to always leave a sponsor out because I got so many. There's a lot of people that make all this thing go, but I'm going to try to give it a shot. The first I want to thank is Marvin's Garage Doors. I forgot on Saturday night, and I forgot Horizon Equipment Rentals. But with the list I got, the list is long. Hodges Realty, A Touch of Mayberry, Surrey Chemicals for the best tire soak in the world, Guarantee Automotive Group, Perkins and Associates. If you do not have health insurance, you need to call Perkins and Associates. They are health insurance specialists. They've helped hundreds of my friends. Taylor Auto Parts, Jerry Hunt Super Center, Bilstein Shocks. It's clear they're the best shocks in the business. Wagner Racing Engines, Bassett Wheels, them real nice wide 10.5-inch ones. Crab Smith, AP Brakes for the best brake calipers I ever bolted on a car. Horizon Equipment Rentals, Tilton clutches, Tilton everything. Tilton has the best anything in the powertrain. Velocity for the best looking uniform I've ever had. I appreciate Brad Smith, live at 855 Ministries. My wife, my crew, Rudy Peel, especially the hours he spent with me in the garage, and my brother Frank Fleming. And as y'all know, Friday we're headed to Daytona to run the NASCAR Tour race. So looking forward to running this this new car at New Smyrna Saturday night for the tour race.
Have fun with that. That's a big deal down there. It's a lot of fun, and we wish you nothing but the best. Chris, thank you for calling in tonight, man, and congratulations on your win at Bowman Gray Stadium in the Modified Classic this weekend.
Thank you, buddy.
See ya.
See you, Bill.
See you, Chris.
I've seen a lot of my fans there. Hope all of you is doing good. God bless you.
Thank you, buddy. See ya.
See you.
My producer says commercial. Is that what we need to do? Then we can talk to Riley for a little bit. How many are we gonna do? 9. We're gonna take a 2 commercial break. Y'all don't go nowhere. We love y'all. Stay right there. We're almost done. We're gonna talk to Riley Neal a minute, and we're gonna wind her down with our non-copyrighted music.
Hey, my name is Cale Weavil. Welcome to Woman Sandblasting.
Hey, I'm Michael Robbins. I'm a third-generation sandblaster. Alongside of my parents, Eddie and Shirley Robbins, we are Robbins Sandblasting. In December of 1954, my grandpa, Buddy Robbins, started Robbins Sandblasting. Over the past 65 years, there have been many of cars driven in this driveway. Some have come and gone, others have become friends, but many have become family. With the 4th generation standing here, it's our job to teach them how the rust meets the dust. So from our family to yours, thank you for 65 years.
People can trust me to detail their vehicle because I've been doing it for years. I've worked on stuff from $1,000 all the way up to $100,000, but at the end of the day, you still gotta live up to the same standard. I put love and care into every vehicle. I just want to make sure my customer's happy because I like getting everything. I mean, every crack, every cranny, anything I can get. I really just want it to be squeaky clean. I know how I want my ride to look like at the end of the day, and I should do the same thing to yours.
We're live.
Was he clapping at me?
He was clapping at you.
But he's got a microphone. I was reading it. Misty Baker is like, she's seen your mom, and it's like, so they're waving at each other on Facebook, and they passed each other in a vehicle or something. I was intrigued at what I was reading here with Misty Baker and your mom. Your mom said, "Hey, son," she's back.
Yeah, she was on the Peloton. She texted me.
What about Louie?
I don't know what Louie is probably running around the house,
peeing.
biting Ty. He ain't peed in the house lately. But he's
hadn't?
probably biting tie, causing problems like he has been all day long.
That dang Louie. Riley, let's talk about. I said it earlier, and no power steering. Tell us about that. We're professional. We're rednecks. We're dipping on the show.
My arms are noodles. Not really, but power steering went out on lap 2, and I come over the radio when we had that first caution, and I said, "Boys, it's gonna be a long day." And they thought I was talking about all the wrecks that was getting ready to happen. No, I was talking about we lost power steering. So, anyways, we fell back to the back, and you like that, don't you? Mom's probably gonna cuss me out.
We're both gonna be in trouble. And say, why are you dipping on the show?
She's probably gonna cuss me out. It's fine. But
Louie's calm right now. Go ahead.
we lost power steering on lap 2. We fell back to the back, and we just kind of rode and bided our time. And every choice we took on the cone ended up being the wrong choice. We ended up stopped up against the wall trying to avoid a wreck or something. But like I say, it took a lot of determination from me and all the guys to keep my head in the game, keep their head in the game, and pull out what we pulled out. I feel like we ended up missing a wreck off of 4, and next thing we know, we're running 3rd. And I was passing Burt for 2nd, and we got together, and some stuff happened, and we ended up just riding a race out right there, 5th or 6th. But we rode 3rd for probably 15 laps or so right there, and we had us a nice little green run. And
That was a big deal.
That stuff happened.
I was standing up, and people were. You could watch them when you come by and stuff. That was a big deal. There was a lot of happy fans.
Yeah.
To see a 17-year-old running out there in 3rd. I mean, not that you don't have the talent or the ability to do this. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying here, but that was cool.
Yeah, it was, and it was fun. It was so much fun.
The Winston-Salem Dash should be proud. Micah Womble and his wife should be proud. You know, all your sponsors. I know your dad and your mom is. I mean, you did. You were good in practice too. You kind of, I was watching you in practice. Like I said, me and Tommy Neal was talking. But what would you the track after the race and everything was said and done? What would you? Was the track like
I was actually
A, B, C, D, or F?
I would say it was between a B and it was a B minus. I was actually very pleased with it. You know, it had a little bit more grip than I expected.
Right. Yeah.
And something that I didn't think about really. The top actually had more grip than the bottom had, because on the cone you could get that straighter run and you could pinch that guy down on the bottom, and you think he's got this much wheel in it. You got this much wheel in it. Obviously, you're going to get the better run. You can get in the gas harder.
Right.
And I wasn't thinking about that those first 2 cautions we had, and I was thinking, unless we can gain 3, we're not going to the top. We're going to stay on the bottom. But then there, after the first 2 cautions, I was seeing people work the top. I was like, we're going to go even. And that's something that we discussed and ended up working out for us, and we gained a couple spots off of it here and there and throughout everything.
What is the biggest thing that you take out of Saturday's race? Do you take what you done running many laps in 3rd, like you said, 15 or 20 or so, but finishing 6th? Do you take the notes and everything you learned from Saturday and apply it and then some for April the 19th?
I apply all of it. Mm-hmm. It was a really good run for our team. We showed a lot of speed. We showed respect. We showed a lot of things. And I was very proud of all the guys, the way that we worked all day, the adjustments that we made. Every adjustment we made, we went the right way. And I was very proud of Dad and everybody at the racetrack. I hate Adam couldn't be there. Adam had the flu. But like I say, I was just very proud of everybody that was at the racetrack with us and that had input. It was a really big day for our race team. Not just me, but our race team.
Right. I do want to give a shout out. I don't know who's behind the Citrus Safe Racing Facebook and all, but I've noticed that even without Burt being on, I wanted to thank y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate that. Appreciate what y'all do for racing, the sponsorship with Burt and other things. So whoever's behind this, it don't matter who's behind it. It says Citrus Safe Racing. Thank y'all for tuning in. I really, really appreciate that. Ryan Putnam's watching. He didn't get the spot. Man, I hated to see that about Kyle Southern.
Yeah, I respect Kyle a lot. Me and Kyle are actually pretty good friends. I hated to see that for him.
that just he handled it well. But talking to him, man, and they had Richard Childress Vineyards on that race car, so hopefully. And, Richard did come and talk to him and everything. And Richard's been through this a lot, and he understood. But I hated that for Kyle Southern and his team. And I told him we will help promote that Richard Childress Vineyards as much as he wants us to here on Talking Circles with Chris Carter. So that's racing.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously you have mechanical failure, but I'm going to make a little bit of light of the situation. As chaotic as the race was, at least he don't have a tore up race car.
Right.
I'm just trying to make light of the situation.
That's right. It is true. That is true.
I don't know who escaped with a clean bumper.
Chris Fleming.
Well, I mean, his right rear nerf bar
was it
all jacked out of whack? Yeah.
All in all, I think this was a great weekend for yourself, Messer Media, Talking Circles with Chris Carter. All of y'all out there, the fans. I know I still see people, Victory Lane, what should have been here? Y'all remember NASCAR made their sandbox? We played in it.
Yep.
And we all played well. Y'all played well. We represented Bowman Gray Stadium
to our fullest potential.
Yeah. It was really good. We're going to take one more commercial break, and then we're going to come right back. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. Y'all don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Without any thought, I keep moving on. I don't even care if my soul is gone. So many words that I should have said. Not concerned about how to live instead.
Jimmy Brown of J&T Services buys junk, unwanted vehicles of all types. He removes scrap metal, specializes in trash removal and eviction cleanups. Whether it's a bed or a table or an even old washer and dryer, Jimmy Brown, you don't play around. Serving the Triad area since 2007, J&T Services is firefighter owned, and you can reach them at 336-341-1171, or you can go to J&T Services on Facebook. Choice Tire and Automotive is a full-service auto repair shop and your number one source for tires and wheels in Kernersville, North Carolina. They offer a variety of automotive services to keep your vehicle rolling on the road and off. Choice Tire and Automotive offers check engine light repair and diagnostics, oil changes, brake repairs, alignments, balancing, rotations, and general automotive repairs. They bring the best quality service possible in everything they do, and their team is committed to providing the best workmanship and customer experience possible. Choice Tire and Automotive's hours are Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. till 5 p.m. Give Choice Tire and Automotive a call at 336-992-9002 and let them take care of your tire and automotive service needs. If you need your hot dog experience to go to a whole new level, then you need to check out Pulliam's Hotdogs and Barbecue, because when it comes to hot dogs, it doesn't get more iconic than Pulliam's. Pulliam's Hotdogs and Barbecue has been in business since 1910, which makes them part of the fabric of the Triad area, and their recipe hasn't changed in 114 years. Same barbecue, same slaw, same hot dogs. Pulliam's is located at 4400 Old Walkertown Road in Winston-Salem, and their hours are Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Come chill at the grill and enjoy yourself with family and friends at Pulliam's Hotdogs and Barbecue. Since 2006, 5 Points Tire and Auto works hard to earn your trust and loyalty. They know how important it is to find a Winston-Salem car service you can rely on, so your satisfaction is their top priority each and every day. Their professional automotive service offers you years of combined expertise from their well-trained technicians. They treat their auto repair professionals well because they value their skill and can-do attitude. They know their team sets them apart, saving you, the customer, time and money, not to mention worry. When it comes to auto repair in Winston-Salem, 5 Points Tire and Auto is totally confident they are the best option in town. They're located at 3075 Kernersville Road in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and their hours are Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Been through this before.
Welcome back, Talking Circles with Chris Carter, presented by J&T Services. We are live at the Choice Tire and Automotive Studios. My buddy Riley Neal, 17 years old, modified driver, the 07 Winston-Salem Dash, garage doors of the Triad,
Walkertown
modified.
Auto Sales, Walkertown Pole and Gun, Ideal Corn, modified.
Yeah, I forgot Ideal Corn. Golly, I'm going to get in trouble. Tiffany said I look exhausted. Well, actually, Crybaby Chris was talking about Emma earlier today, and I'm probably, once I cry, I get sad. But speaking of, let's look real quick before we sign off. Let's check out our new sponsors on here. We also want to give a shout out to our buddy. Bear with me. I got to pull it up. Harkey Litigation, Scott Harkey, and she sponsored a segment, Enticing Icing. Okay, look, I love y'all. This is why 3.7. I said 4, but that's still for 3.5 to 3.7.
That's pretty good.
She got some. She got so
in 2 hours.
Yeah, for those of y'all that was not here for the first part of the program, Enticing Icings is a new sponsor on this show. The thing is, it was not like anything I've ever done. I seen this. This is Emma's mom, and she used to do this, and then COVID came, and then Emma got sick and passed away. And as you can imagine, that just put her on a different planet. And when I read this, that she's doing this again, it hit my heart. It touched me in a very special way because I know how much she liked it, but I also know how much she has struggled since a part of her losing Emma is gone. So I said when I read this and seen, I text Messer and I explained to Messer, I said, I hope you understand, and I know you will understand, is that I'm going to make them a sponsor on this show. I asked everybody, and if you look down where I post on who's going to be on and what have you, it's Enticing Icings. Y'all go and please, y'all follow that page and like that page, because anything that she sells are going to be open in March. Y'all stay tuned to that Facebook page. She's going to, part of everything they do is going to go for cancer research. And that's, Riley, tell them what you're doing as well.
$5 off of every new hoodie or T-shirt purchase is going to go to the Cancer Foundation and the Noel Fund.
So I'm going to, at some point tomorrow, I got to go to Statesville and meet with Darren Krantz Jr. and Darren Krantz Sr. and the Race for Kids Foundation. And then I'm going to the hospital to spend a little time with Noelle and her family. I want to give a big shout out to everybody that's been a part of this. Ryan Gibson contributed a little bit on race day. And it's been watching these kids and these journeys. I get emotional. I'll cry. I had a special bond with Emma. It was just, I went there as much as I could all the time, right up until the moment that she passed. And I told Emma's mom, I said, I can't do this no more. I can't, because I got so involved and I said I wasn't doing it again. And then Jimmy Brown come along and asked me about, and said something about Noel. The first several times, Riley, I told Jimmy, I said, I ain't, want to do a fundraiser. You do it, figure it out. It ain't hard, do it. And then just something, and just said, Chris, this is what you do. You have a heart for doing this. And it's just like my passion for doing what I'm doing with all of y'all. It's hard to put into words if what it means to me to be able to be a part of helping kids with cancer and be a part of the Race for Kids Foundation, being a part of what you do, how you help these kids with your back to school stuff and everything. And I've had so many kind words and the connections that I got this past weekend. And I've said it, and I'm going to say it again. Messer, it was a win-win for everybody involved. It was a win-win for Messer Media. It was a win. Riley Neal, have fans that watched you the other night that had no clue who Riley Neal was. And, and that's why I wish I had the microphone. I wanted them people to know that there's a 17-year-old out there racing with a 50-year-old, and however old Crab Smith is, that 17-year-old in that 07 car is the youngest winner ever at Bowman Gray Stadium. And I'm not butthurt about it or anything, because I did have my fun on that track walk, getting the fans and everybody involved. But I just wish that we could have had me and Randy Pulliam together on that microphone. I wanted it. I sound selfish, don't I? Kind of, but at the end of the day, I wanted it to be. They'll be back.
Yeah.
They'll be back. There's a
They
lot of
will
people
be.
that's never been. It's going to come back on the 19th, and it's back to our house again, Messer. Me and you talked about that as well. I think it was definitely a win-win for everybody involved. And I'm going to stress this one more time before we sign off is y'all, those of y'all that are tuning in, y'all were the ones that made this a success, okay? The Cup drivers did their part, but the Bowman Gray Stadium fans definitely did that part. Y'all looked good on TV. You got noisy. You did what you were supposed to do without being instructed. The old girl with the microphone for NASCAR was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed her. But I want to say this again. I want y'all to know that y'all were great. Hold on. Let's see what Lori, your mom, says before we go. Of course, Tanya Barrier loves you, and you know that. We will have hoodies and shirts with us at the Bowman Gray Stadium Racing Ladies Auxiliary Bowling Tournament if you want to pick up one up there. So, y'all, once again, Riley, tell them about what our women's Ladies Auxiliary is doing this weekend.
So we're having the 29th annual, or they're having the 29th annual Mystery Bowling Tournament at Northside Lanes. Registration is open from 6 o'clock to 6:30 Saturday afternoon. It's $20 per person to entry. It's a mystery bowling tournament. You get to bowl with whoever you want, but at the end of the night, it's a random draw on who your partner is. So, like I say, hope to see a lot of people there. I know me and my entire race team will be there. My sponsor and your sponsor, Garage Wars of the Triad, Micah, he'll be there bowling with us.
Yep.
And hopefully you can come out and see a lot of some of the faces you see on Saturday nights and get to bowl with them and be a part of an event with them.
If you're a driver and you're listening to this, I strongly suggest, if your schedule allows, to please go out and support the Ladies Auxiliary, because at the end of the year when we have that banquet, that is all because of them. This weekend, Florence Motor Speedway, the Icebreaker racing is getting back into full swing. That's where I'm going to be supporting my little wheel man, my 14-year-old wheel man, Tristan McKee, and also with Darren Krantz Jr. Looking forward to that. Hold on. Got to see what Willie Wall said.
Crab Smith ain't dry behind the ears yet.
The legend Willie Wall. Appreciate
Life is
him.
good.
Yeah, life is good.
I want to touch on something real quick.
Do it. Go ahead.
So, like I say, what you said, if drivers, if your schedule allows it to come out and support the Ladies Auxiliary, I think that's one thing that a lot of drivers need to focus on, is supporting the people that support them.
Yes.
Because I'm going to be honest, I don't see a lot of drivers at these events like this. I mean, I'm not trying to say that I'm perfect, but I'm at just about every event that the Ladies Auxiliary puts on, whether it's the bowling tournament. We love the golf tournament, and I see a lot of people at the golf tournament that I know. But I mean, they had a cornhole tournament the other year. It was great. A lot of these events I don't see people at. I can't stress enough how important it is to be at things like this and support the people that support you.
Yeah, absolutely. Very important, and I will second that. So, once again, if you're a driver and if you come, you're watching this show or whatever, Brandon Krotz is going to be there as well, seeing him down there. We're so glad that Brandon is able to do and be
there.
Yeah, just to be walking around is a testament within itself. So, Brandon, we love you here at Tiffany Cogar. Ought to get her to call in and put her on a video call. Zachary Cogar Plumbing. Cogar Plumbing has been a sponsor of this show for a long time, since the beginning. It was one of our first ones. Appreciate them. There's your what's Kayla, your cousin-in-law, great aunt, uncle's girlfriend, wife, or what?
I don't know the technical terminology on that.
Aunt Kayla, that's what you just said.
Yeah, something like that.
Don't say Mama Kayla.
No,
You say
that's
Paw
me.
Paw Tommy. Don't you dare say Mama. Boy, you'd never hear the end of that. Kayla'd be
No, I
all
wouldn't.
over that. Well, anyway, I got to talk to Kayla about her picks. Zachary said, I'm not here. You put a camera in front of that guy's face and he's going, I'm out of here. I love him though, man. Good people. Jimmy Absher got to drive the pace car. I talked to him and Randy Smith before everything got. I hope everybody enjoyed it, man. Everybody, y'all did great. Everybody. Messer, you did great. Your pictures are amazing. Do want to give a shout out to Messer Media. He is the producer of this show. If y'all want any of these pictures that he has taken some really good pictures. If you want one, please get in touch with him, Messer Media, on his Facebook page. And I'm not shy like you. True. True, Tiffany. I agree. Once again, Enticings Icings. Y'all go and like that Facebook page. They're on our page. You got the sponsors pulled up? Do you want to?
Yeah,
I feel like I'm missing something, though, before we sign off. Did I miss anything, Messer?
I don't remember.
Messer said, y'all hurry up. No, he didn't. He's just like, no, I didn't. He'd let me know if I did. Once again, I want to thank everybody with NASCAR involved. I want to thank the Cup drivers for allowing a guy like myself time. Like I said earlier, I got to talk to every one of them. Daniel Suarez, the fire alarm's going off in the field house, and he's just standing there like, Daniel, can I get a quick interview with you? Yeah, you can. Super guy, man. All of them, man. It was just a blessing. What the contacts and what happened for Talking Circles with Chris Carter over this weekend. So I want to thank all the Cup guys, Ryan Priest, especially for giving us time to be on this show. With all that being said, I say it every show, and I want y'all to know, each and every one of you, if I don't know you personally. I do want to give a shout out to Miss Lucy. She's with Winston-Salem State University. I met her in the media center. Her and her buddies there, they're awesome people, and I'm looking forward to maybe having Miss Lucy on here and helping me and Messer out with a few things. So from the bottom of my heart, all of y'all, thank you so much for supporting Talking Circles with Chris Carter, presented by J&T Services. If you hear Riley Neal is going to say these sponsors, if you cannot monetize their business, please follow their Facebook page. Don't cost you a dime. Go ahead, Riley.
H&H Auto Repair, Velasta, RaceForKids.com, Pulliam's Hot Dogs and Barbecue, Precision Built Spindles, Renee Hackett Realtor, Cultural Organics Incorporated, Affordable Septic and Tyson Isons, Dutton Safer Systems, The Garage Shop, Choice Tire and Automotive, Frank's Steaks in Long Island, New York, J&T Services, DL Outfitters, Gary Brown, Dream 68, Midway Dry Cleaners, Caldwell Speed Shop LLC, JTA Soft Wash and Roof Cleaning, Cogar Plumbing, 5 Points Tire and Auto, Harkey Litigation, Everyday Mixed Concrete, Heroes Patriot Water, Hall's Heating and Air, Robin Sandblasting, Mule Skinner Trucking, Messer Media, Garage Doors The Triad, MJ Printing and Graphics, Midway Music Hall and Event Center, Thunder Road Grill, Midway Mobile Storage, Make TV Great with Nate, Lou's Custom Showers and Glass, Tea Time Sports Bar, Burke Street Pub, Captain's Retreat at Bear Creek, Speed 77, Squeaky Clean Express and Ceramic Coatings, Colfax Towing and Auto Repair, Velocity USA, KevinSaysYes.com.
I want to thank Chris Fleming. I want to thank Burt Myers. I want to thank Tim Brown. I also want to thank our Cam's Corner, brought to you by Pulliam's Hot Dogs and Barbecue guest, 11-year-old Cale Weavil. I appreciate it, y'all. Chris Fleming, thank you for what you do, man. You're live at 8:55. Messer, I appreciate you. My brother Riley, thank you for sitting in. Sydney was a little bit under the weather, so I really appreciate you last minute doing that for us. I hope you had a good time. Actually, this is 2 weeks in a row for you.
It is 2 weeks in a row. Maybe we can make it a regular thing. Who knows?
Well, you know what? We're gonna work on that.
We'll just kick Sydney out.
Oh Lord!
I hope she's listening. Gets to hear that.
If she's not, she will be. She will get this memo. All right, that's it. We hope y'all enjoyed the show tonight. I want to thank every one of y'all once again for the 53rd time. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. We're going to be back next week. Don't forget, they're going to be racing at Florence Motor Speedway, the Icebreaker, this weekend. Support your local racetrack if you can. Peace out. We appreciate y'all. Stay safe. God bless.